Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Ladies First Panel. What's going on, everybody? Make sure you're coming in. Be sure to like the video, all that great jazz. Okay, definitely be sure to follow all of us on all social media platforms and YouTube at Bondy Blue, Jami ThatsMe, and Necey Dixon. Okay, all the information is here for you guys, available on the screen. So pause if you need to pause. Okay, but let's go ahead and get into the show. Are we ready, ladies?
Yes.
Ready.
Hey y'all, what's going on? Another
Hey.
Thursday, the last Thursday of the month for us. How
Yeah,
is everybody?
Great.
I'm doing good.
Good.
Amazing.
Awesome. Bondi has hit 100K, so we know you're doing very, very amazing.
Yes, I am. Thank you so very, very
We
much,
do need some.
everybody.
Man, the
Okay.
Put the
videos
hand claps in the chat, the celebrations, the
on your
balloons in the chat.
call-ins were so nice to see, Bondi.
Yeah.
I saw.
It
I
was.
think you went live during the middle of the day, so I didn't know you was
Mm-hmm.
going live for the call-ins. But once you posted the
Yeah.
everybody coming in and talking to you, I was like, oh my gosh, that
I'm
was
gonna do it
nice.
again. I'm gonna do it again because
I
I
was
know a lot
thinking
of people
that.
wanted to get on. So I'm gonna do it again before I go
Yeah,
on vacation. But I
Yeah.
yeah.
appreciate y'all so much. It was definitely
I can hear some music in the
Yeah.
background just in case they flag.
Okay, hold up, because that's probably me. Hold up.
Okay, because you know YouTube be like, I think that was do do
Yeah,
do
you know how they do. Like, oh, I hear a love song. Wait a minute. Let's get that out of here.
flag flag on the
Like,
play.
yeah, that was a really good live, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, she should do another one. I feel like she ain't answer enough calls, so I think that's good that she's gonna do another one so people can get the opportunity to hop on. Cause I'm sure it's a lot of people that want to talk to her. Bundy been doing this for a very long time, so I'm
Right,
sure. And then some people probably couldn't call in the middle of the day, so
like me.
that's what's up. Right. Girl, listen, I was on the highway. I was like, God damn it. I was trying to get from one side of the of I guess you say Atlanta to the other side. God damn it.
Mm-mm.
What's up, Scotty? What's wrong with my mouse?
Hey,
What's up? What's going on? Hey everybody over in the chat. Thank you guys for the hand claps and the balloons and everything.
Okay, I'm back.
Y'all so
Hopefully
sweet.
it's better. Yes, thank you.
yeah,
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate y'all so much. I'm still in it though. Like I'm still, like fully in the moment. I think I'm gonna be in the moment for the rest of the month. Cause y'all know my
Yeah.
birthday next
you
Yeah.
week.
should expand,
So
and you
Yeah.
should do next month too, because
I
your
think
birthday at the
so.
end of the month.
It
Yeah, for sure.
is. It's
Hmm.
it's giving that.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
What a way to celebrate. I love that. I love that. Okay. Anything else been going on this week? Nothing else? Just living life, enjoying life.
Yeah, just been living life and enjoying life. Living life.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yes.
That's all we can do, right?
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we could do other stuff, but it's good to enjoy it. So there's that.
Yeah.
It is.
So I do have quite a few conversational topics for tonight. I feel like it wasn't a whole lot of gossip and things that was going on. But we have some things in there. We're gonna get into our TV talks and stuff. But I do have some things that I want us to converse about. So let's go ahead and get this up on the screen. And this particular situation is a guy that's like a stepdad, and he feels as though when he steps into the role of a stepdad, he believes that the children should call him dad and not by his first name. So I just want to get you guys opinion on this.
When I get married to a woman with kids, if the kids keep calling me Tuck or my name, my first name, that's disrespectful.
How?
Can I tell the her that them your kid?
Well, that's what you introduce yourself to them as. That's what they know you as.
No. It's on her to then change their pattern.
If y'all are married,
Right.
What do you want them to call you?
Dad, you can't tell me to be a father to those kids and not be respected as one.
I
But you
agree
can't-
with it. So like when I
You
got
cannot,
married,
because if you believe that, I can
No,
say
you can
them
still
your
be
kid. So when we have kids of our own, I
You
can
still
treat
be
them differently,
respected.
right?
No, you can still be respected as a father figure and still be called by your name. Like my uncle, I called him Jay since I was a little baby, and my stepdad, I call him Tom because that's what my mom and him discussed.
That shit was
whenever we first
disrespectful.
met.
Just
No,
because you
wasn't.
do it
That's
don't mean it
he
won't
didn't feel
disrespect.
it.
Okay. So we teaching our kids to say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am to strangers, but we can't teach them to say,
No.
oh, that's dad right there to the taking
Now,
care of you.
your
Make that
preference.
make sense.
That's on the
They can
preference.
show more respect for a stranger than the person that actually
Well,
feeding
wait a
them.
minute.
Don't give me the duties without the title.
Let me finish.
Don't give me the duties without the title.
You don't want the duties anyway, sir. Quit
He
playing.
doesn't. He doesn't.
Nah.
I think that the parents
If you
could come up
don't-
with a name if he don't want them calling him by his first name. Come up with another name that's going to be comfortable. I keep thinking about that little white boy with the crying emoji that said, not emoji, but the meme. He said, "You're not my dad." Like that's what I keep hearing. Like, you're not my dad. Like, you can't force a child to call you that. And
That's
it
so
sounds like he
weird.
wants that right out the gate.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you're not developing any relationship, and you feel like just because you're with their mom, you're supposed to get that title. Like,
It's giving
I
you
think it's
agree with
therapy.
that hard.
It's exactly what Bondy said. You don't want the responsibility because what he's stressing is the fact that he's actively participating as a father. Like, that's the heavy load to him. And to me, I'm like, if they actually have a dad who's just not with their mom, why would they call you dad? That's weird. And it's what Bondy said. He don't want the responsibility, and he just wants something in return. I'm like, I can't. Mm-mm.
It's given he want to be a problem and come in and exercise his authority.
Yes.
It's giving. Where's your father, sir? Was he
You
there?
know-
That would have been a good. I wonder if they asked that question. I may have to go watch the whole thing to
He
see.
probably had a stepdad who was his actual. He probably didn't have a father figure outside of his stepdaddy, which is why he can't comprehend that fathers can still be active and not be with the child's mother.
And then it's just so many layers to that, because the actual dad might feel disrespected that you sitting up there wanting his kids to call you dad. Like, what? And then you trying to relate that to yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. Like, are you okay? That's not.
No, he's not.
Absolutely.
I saw
Like,
something on Twitter. It was Twitter and Instagram, and it was like, I think we as a collective Black folk need to end conversations in front of a camera. And low key, I was still laughing. I was like, hell yeah. And I was like, oh shit, except for us.
Right.
I was like,
hilarious.
except for us. Because some people be doing the most. I'm like, can we not? Can we not?
Yeah, for sure. They need to
I
stop
think-
the trolling on camera.
The truth of the matter is, people with wayward ideals on life have always been able to scream it from the loudest mountaintops, whether we like it or not. It's so unfortunate. But I do love to take those opportunities to point out how crazy these people sound. It's the entitlement for me. The entitlement of feeling like you've earned some badge as a father simply because you are what? Not
Paying
being
bills.
mean. To me, not even really just paying bills, but what? Because you're accepting the fact that there's a child there. You're not ignoring him. You're not mistreating him. So the bare minimum is supposed to get you daddy like rights or
Right.
something. You're crazy. You're insane. And any
Absolutely.
woman who is in the vicinity should run in the opposite direction, because if you feel like that about the kids, who knows what type of wayward, ideals you have for a woman. Girl,
say
run
that.
from him and the color in his beard. I keep telling y'all, you can't
Say
trust him.
that.
Hilarious. Okay. So the next conversational piece, let's get this up here. This is more so a woman that has I guess boundaries when you're around her husband, the way that you should be and how you shouldn't be or whatever. So let's
I'm
just
already
go
making
ahead.
a face. Like,
I
what
know,
kind of
right?
fool is
I'm
this
just gonna let
be?
her. Yeah, I'm gonna let her tell it. Give me 1 second.
In my gym, number one, you training with my husband,
Yeah.
you better speak to me. Because my thing is, if you don't, I feel like you got some type of ulterior motive.
Right.
Why would you not? You know who I am.
Yeah.
You know who I am. I'm not hidden anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm all over his page.
Big line.
I'm in his stories.
Big
you
line.
know who I am.
I'm at his workplace.
Yeah, I'm at his workplace.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
it's her
if you don't
workplace.
speak to
Yeah.
me, then it's like, okay, so I'll tell him, you can't train her. She gotta
Everybody-
go. She
everybody
can't come
speaks
back
to her,
in
though.
here. And then, when he's training certain girls or whatever, like, it used to be a time where he used to be getting videos for him.
Them angles.
He's getting angles.
Ass, something.
Yeah. And
All
I-
along like this
Yup,
and shit.
yup.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to sell the product.
Gotta sell the product.
You gotta sell I'm trying to sell the product.
Not at my expense. So
Right.
guess what? I be in that DM, delete it. Delete that story, delete that post. No.
I don't even put on no fight no more. Yo, I'm like, she a hater.
Yeah. It to me it just sounds like she has a lot of insecurity. That's just what I think. And I feel like he does not help her in that space to where she feels confident with other women being around her man. And it also makes me wonder about her personality and her attitude. Like, I mean, do you give them a stank face, or like what do you what's your energy as to why they don't speak to you when you come in? Because it could be you. It probably ain't got nothing to do with your husband, but the fact that they don't speak to you and you automatically go to that thought, thinking they have a different motive. Like I don't know, I don't really like that. But I feel like he is partly to blame for that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad how you question what she's doing to potentially, make people not say, "Hey."
Mhm.
She kind of had this sense of entitlement where, like, if you way on the other side of the gym and my workout is in one central area, I'm not about to go out of my way to speak if we've never had a proper introduction. I don't think you should put that on the female to make sure that you're spoken to. That should be on your husband if he's a mutual connection. He should say, "Welcome to the gym. Here goes your spot. This is my wife," and then you say hello. So the number one word that popped up for me was trauma. This man has put her through a lot of trauma, and this is a trauma response. Like, it's a damn shame. I think it's a little bit of both, but I'm gonna say it's mostly what her husband's done and how she decides to move forward with it.
I also think like these ladies are paying money to y'all to come to y'all gym. You would think that y'all would be a bit more, or at least you would take that into consideration and think about the bigger picture more than just your husband. And if you're coming into the building, why don't you speak? Hey y'all, how y'all doing? I can see if you spoke and they ain't speak back, like, oh, rude, you know. But
First of all, his shirt was too tight in the first place. Like, girl, I don't know why you having a conversation with us like everybody wants your nigga, but his shirt too tight for me. So let's just start there. Second of all, you really, as a beautiful woman, is sitting there acting like you're working out for nothing. You're in excellent shape, and I'm looking at you like, where's the confidence, sweetheart? Where is the I know I look good, so I don't need to be worried energy? That's the energy you really should have. And if you don't have that energy, it's because your nigga is a hoe. And I can tell by the way he's sitting next to you. He called you a hater. He laughed in your face and said he was trying to get those angles of those women's asses. But yet you're in the DMs and trying to check these women about if they speak to you or not. Girl, you want more respect from strangers than you want from your own man. I don't know what to tell you. It's sad.
it's very,
She
very
want more
sad.
respect from strangers than she want from her own man.
Oh,
Yeah, because
that
she wants
was
somebody to
tough.
pay for the shit that he's done. It's like so sad to me how, like, you can listen to a tidbit of what somebody done said and you can read their whole situation. It's tragic.
They tell a lot in a little bit.
They do. They do.
Well, we hate that for her. I really want her to get, because she's a gorgeous woman. She's a successful woman. She got that fitness line called Body Envy. A lot of nice attire.
I've
Um
never heard of her before. What's her name?
uh I think it's called Miss 2 Weeks Out on social media, but the brand is called Body, the letter N and then V, the letter V. Body Envy. She got some nice stuff. But and she also was on Wife Swap a while back. And I believe she was like a firefighter or something like that at one point.
Wife swap. What is that? Is that where people swipe wives?
Yeah,
Swap
swap
them?
Yes.
wives and then they,
Live
be
in
in
a
charge of the
house.
house for like a week or something.
Why she
Yeah.
go do that?
I don't know. But she did it a few years ago though. I don't know, maybe it was like 2017, 2018, somewhere back up in there. But yeah, so I was surprised to hear that, but that's their situation, girl. That's how she feels. Let's go ahead and switch over. We're gonna get into a little bit of some TV talk, and then we're gonna dive back into some gossip. All right. So I want to talk about the new show, Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I like it, I must say. So on this particular episode, we see, well, it's kind of a continuation from the previous one where Silas was complaining about his wife being out too late with her good friend Jordan. Jordan ends up checking him. I didn't fully understand Silas's point because it seemed like he tried to shift it. One minute he was upset that she was out too late, and then he started talking about how dangerous it is. Um, and I also didn't like how he was kind of more so coming for Jordan than coming for his own wife, Jasmine. I feel like y'all need to have that type of conversation, and she's supposed to respect your relationship. She's the one that's married to you. Why are you putting it off on Jordan, trying to make it seem like she's the bad guy? What did y'all think about that whole situation? I also
I
want to
don't
say I
like
feel
him.
like Jasmine is fake.
Jasmine is fake.
Extremely.
The first episode, I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to stick around for this because she was trying to force the scenes. She was trying to force conversation. She was trying to force the people to like each other. It's like, girl, fucking relax. You know what I'm saying? Just relax. So I didn't know if I was gonna like her because of that. I don't like Silas. He needs some type of facial hair because it's bothering me. I
It's
think
giving Milk Dud.
it's bothersome, sir. Goatee, something,
He makes
okay?
me think of that man on Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yes, he
Ooh,
looks
yeah.
just like Jamie. You are so right. Every time I see him, I could not put my finger on it. He looked just like him.
I think he's controlling. I think he's
Yeah.
controlling. I think he's going to be the quintessential, annoying, controlling man that's going to make his control look like he cares about your safety when really it's about the fact that he don't like the fact that you was out that late period because you his woman now. But my problem is that wasn't she a Playboy bunny? Like, what did you expect?
Yeah. Well, he got with her
Mm.
after. Didn't give her after that.
Yeah, but still, like this is somebody that worked in a nightlife. So you think they not still gonna like to go out at night? Like,
Yeah, but he think he saved her. For me, it was a red flag when she said he was a military man. When she said he was a military man, I was like, okay, that's enough for me to know exactly all I need to know.
absolutely. They
And then
always.
Jasmine, it's I'm probably gonna sound like I'm tripping, but I couldn't trust Jasmine when I seen her eyebrows. It's something about she's a pretty girl, but she reminds me of somebody specific, and I've met like 3 people like that, and I'm like, nah, I can't trust it. In
Oh man.
episode 1, the main thing for me was whenever she waited for Mariah to have an issue with the fucking dog before she said something. When the night
Hmm.
before, she said, "Oh, okay, we can do that. Okay, we can do that." And that was my thing. Like, I know black people don't really fuck with house dogs like that, but for me, I'm like, just say it with your chest, and she didn't do that, and that's when I knew it was gonna go downhill for me with Jasmine.
Mm.
Agree.
Bria got on my fucking nerves. One, what I don't let me say this real quick. What I don't like about Jasmine is Jasmine, baby, you was just living out your car prior to meeting him. And what's killing me is your friends playing you in the confessional. And you be over here trying to act like you sedity, high class, and all of this stuff. And they be busting your bubble. And I just don't like that about you. Like, you just don't give off genuine. I hate that. I just like, Jasmine, girl, you just be too fake. You want to be high class so bad now that you're married, and then want to discredit other people's relationships because now what she said about Bria relationship, something about like, yeah, I don't respect it,
She
or I
can't
don't.
respect it because it's not a marriage.
Right. I'm like, girl, you only been married for a little bit of time. What are you talking about? I don't know, Jasmine. It's not looking good. But Bria, this is what got on my nerves with Bria. Bria want everybody to, I feel, manage and respect her dog, but she don't want to do it. And that's a problem for me. I love animals. I love them. But I do not want to wash their stuff with my stuff. And I really don't want to have to sit in other dogs' hair all over the place. And
Mm-mm.
then you brought that dog and didn't even tell them that you was bringing the dog. So that was really inconsiderate. And then now you're forcing other people to be okay with that. And I just don't think that's cool at all. I don't like it.
I didn't
I
like
got
her
a
at
dog.
all.
I don't even do that shit.
No, I'm gonna tell you, I thought I was tripping at first because when the first time I watched it, I was kind of in and out, and I was like, why the fuck would she put the dog stuff in there with the towels for everybody else? You know, it's gonna have dog hair on it, and people don't want dog hair on their stuff and on their
Nope.
towels and all of that if they don't have dogs. Like,
Dog hair in your ass crack. Dog
yeah,
hair in your
like
armpits. Can't.
on you,
Yes. Yes.
stuck on your skin when you're drying yourself off. Like, don't nobody want that. So at the end of the day, like when Mariah Mariah went up to her. First of all, Mariah was already kind of on one because of the way they played her about her little, moon thing the night before. But I was like, that's what you get, because you got to know not to open yourself up to black people about certain things, girl. You can't just be. I'm sorry. When you are outside of Christianity, you cannot just open yourself up to black people without being sure how they're gonna receive it first, because you'll end up getting your face cracked. So that's what happened, and she needs to manage that on her own. But I did feel like that kind of fueled her emotions about the dog stuff, because I understood where she was coming from. And honestly, I felt like it was Bria that escalated the situation, because as soon as she walked up to you and said something to you about it, you were like, well, that sounds like a you problem.
Yep.
And then you tried to snatch it. Well, first she tried to snatch it from her first. And then she was putting her finger in her face, moving around Jasmine like, no. And I was like, wait. So you couldn't just say, oh, my bad, I was rushing and, I won't do that again. You couldn't just say that. It was like she felt like she needed to prove a point to Mariah and to everybody else that she wasn't going to be punked behind this dog situation. Yeah. So
we can get ratchet. Let's do it.
Right, like I can't, girl. So you can get your ass whooped, and I hate to say it, but y'all know what it reminded me of, right?
I know. Mm-hmm. Except it reminded me of that, minus all of the buildup that led
yes, of course, but the actual personality and moment of
and when
I'm gonna
to the club, I can't do this.
Right? No, because she pushed me. She pushed me, and everybody's just acting like she's walking around like it's nothing. I was just like, girl, they at the bar. What you want her to do?
Right.
Like, and if you have an issue with her, you need to go over and have a conversation with her. You mad at everybody else because they not mad enough at her for you. Then you incite Jordan's crazy ass. When Jordan was going off on Jasmine, I thought I had missed something. She was like, but that's how she felt. And I'm like, yeah, but she was inciting that energy. Mariah wasn't on that energy when she came up to her. You was bout it. She pushed you. And now Jordan is sitting up there pushing Jasmine.
She didn't even really push her. She put the towels in her chest, but she didn't push.
No, not the way Jordan pushed Jasmine when she hit her up again. Like, no, you did that shit with a little bit too much angst for me.
It was because she was mad that Jasmine wasn't mad at her. But they know that Jasmine is the leader, the nucleus of the group. So that's why they got all that smoke for her. I'm like, girl, I can't. One thing I do want to call out, though, Jasmine rode the fence on this one. You waited for Mariah to say that she had an issue. Mariah spoke up on your issue when Bria brought that dog. But when it came to this situation, you try to act like, oh, well, I understand where both are coming from. When the whole idea is that you don't really fuck with dogs anyway. So
and she don't fuck with Bria because she didn't even want to invite her.
She's fake.
Right.
Fake.
That was way. Jordan really pissed me off because it was like, Jordan, do you not like Mariah? Are y'all trying to create something to kind of like push Mariah out, make her feel more isolated? When it comes to the whole moon thing that she was trying to do, I felt like the timing was bad as well, because if everybody just finished hanging out, ain't nobody trying to go and do all of that. You should have caught them in the morning or something else. That's what she should have did. So we talked about Mariah and Bria and we pretty much talked about that, the whole argument and stuff. What did y'all think about Phil trifling ass?
Who invited him?
His little Bria energy.
Bria.
Oh yes, absolutely. It's giving I'm big, but my dick is little.
Yeah, and it's giving basketball was what I had going for me, but I ain't in NFL. I mean, in the NBA. Probably not playing overseas, so let me be a comedian off the backs of Summer House.
Okay, or let me work at the airport moving bags. Yikes.
TSA clearance.
Okay.
Take your shoes off.
That's what it's giving. He pissed me off so bad because I'm like, well, how dare you take a shit in somebody's bathroom and not flush it? And then you sitting over there antagonizing that man, telling some when Nick said, I'll flush it, man, don't worry. I know you will. I know you. Like, are you okay?
Right.
Still antagonizing him. Yes,
he was.
And I was here for Amir. I said, get in his ass, Amir, because I thought Amir was really funny. Amir said, well, see what this little boy do to you or something.
Okay. See what my little ass do to your big ass. Okay.
He said it more proper. It was given very much proper, but he still had all the smoke behind it.
Yes.
He did.
It was the you know what I'm saying, the arm placement for me. It was like, no, walk over here then. You know what I'm saying? I went like, let's go.
It's
Okay,
her house.
let's do it
See what my
then.
little ass does to your big ass.
Right,
I
I
love
like them.
it.
I like them. I also like the dude that was on the couch who really
Alex.
wasn't Alex. I liked Alex because Alex's demeanor didn't change until Amir got up, and that because he was chilling. He was like, "So you're just gonna be an asshole, right? That's what you want to do. You're just gonna be an asshole." Like that's how he was. And dude was talking all that shit. And when Amir jumped up, he was like, "Come on, dude, come on." I was just like, "I like
And
him."
don't give him no energy. I do. I like Alex too.
Yeah, Alice is cool. One last thing I want to say, and then we can move on. Summer House. Bria. I didn't like that Bria was expecting Shanice to have her back when Shanice had just got in the house, and she really don't know what the hell is going on. But because that's your friend, you think she's supposed to have your back. Yeah, no, I kind of like that she stood in the back, like, girl, that ain't got shit to do with me. I just got here, so I love that.
Why do you
Was
need
there
all this
anything-
backup? Like that's so obnoxious to me. Why do you need all this backup? Like and honestly, that that girl, the
manipulating
friend,
victims.
she oh yes, definitely.
I
The
hate
girl who
those roles.
came, she was so flighty. I'm like, why are you trying to depend on her? That girl looked like she just here to have a good time. She don't know nothing about what's going on. Why is you expecting her to have your back and just stand beside you while you're going? Jordan, if you want to stand beside her, then you stand beside her while she going through it, Jordan. But y'all like expectation for everybody to be coddling Bria's ass is annoying to me already. It's only episode 2. Calm down.
I am already prematurely embarrassed for Shanice though, because she asked about Phil 5 times. And I just feel like she's gonna end up looking crazy if she's that pressed on Phil. Please don't let this man embarrass you. She literally
Who's
asked,
pressed on Phil?
you didn't notice every time they went somewhere, she said, "Where's Phil? Can't wait till Phil gets here." In the kitchen, they were like, "Who do you think has BDE?" They said, "I don't know. Wait till Phil get here." Then they was in a club. She said, "Where's Phil?" She said his name at least 4 times, asking where Phil was.
Oh wow, I didn't even catch that.
Well, she made a mistake. Wait. I don't see Phil in this picture.
Him nor Mariah in it.
Or Shanice. Wait. Yeah,
Shanice
is
Shanice is in it, but they're the only 2 that's not in it. They even got the new guy that's supposed to be coming in it.
And a new
Mariah
girl.
isn't on the cast. If you go to the website and look at the cast lineup, I don't think she in it.
So I wonder if she's just a friend of the show or if she's going to be leaving early,
She
because
gonna
I
leave.
feel like she feels isolated. Like your best
And she
friend
said she got a
Jasmine
son.
ain't got your back like that. Like, you know, for some chicks that you ain't even want her on the trip and you over there taking her side. Yeah, that would be a problem for me. But you know, anywho, girl. Anything else? Anything else on Summer House?
I can't wait for next week.
Right? Okay. It's good.
All right. Well, let's go ahead
and let me
Uh-huh.
ask y'all something. Have y'all been watching Vanderpump?
I have not.
I haven't.
I don't watch that show, but I was gonna watch the finale and the reunion just to see what all the craziness was about. I was just wondering if y'all had watched that.
Nah, I was looking at their numbers earlier. I was like, dang, 1.8, almost 2 million views. What am I missing? Either the show is that good or because
you know what you're missing.
Happened?
What happened?
Oh, damn. So 2 of the cast members, they married to each other. Tom and can't remember the other girl's name. I know somebody in the comments know. And one of her close friends was having an affair with the girl's husband, and they find out during the season. So all of this is being exposed during the season, and then they have to talk about it at the reunion. Yes. Ooh. The girl was having an affair with her friend's husband literally right after the girl's dog died. They was on a girl's trip.
Oh, hell no.
The girl's dog died. The girl ended up telling her that her and her husband only kissed, but the reality is they had sex in a car and they continued the affair.
And these people been on the show prior?
Yeah. Oh, but apparently a lot of people in the friend group be having relations with each other, or either like, what I'm hearing is the girl, the wife that was cheated on, apparently she's been with married men before. Who knows? But yeah, it's a lot of mess going on, and people feel real strongly about it. And I'm here to see some white chaos. So I'm about to tune in to this finale and the 3-part reunion just to watch it and see what's going on.
Girl, you about to make me tune in with you, because I really don't want to go back to the beginning and watch nothing.
I'm not going to. I refuse.
I really don't want to do it. Well, okay. Well, let's go ahead and switch over and get into some more gossip then. All right. Let's see here. So it's being said, or it's being rumored that these two individuals are dating, and this is Meagan Good and Jonathan Majors. Y'all know Jonathan Majors has this whole case that he is dealing with at this time. Let me add Necey back, but he has this whole case that he's dealing with his ex-girlfriend, and the timing is not good. A lot of people are believing that with the rumor coming out that they're dating, that this is a PR stunt. And I'm wondering how much of a PR stunt is it, because it's not benefiting Meagan to date him for PR or publicity. It would benefit him, but he ain't got no PR team because everybody dropped him. So who is doing the magic is what I'm wondering. Real quick, I just saw this. For some reason, I can't see it over here. I apologize. Thank you for the super chat, Gabor. Hey, Jamie, Bondy, and Necey. Bria thought Mariah was going to come in the club and apologize. I'm glad Mariah stood her ground and paid her dust. Bria, no, she ain't about that life. Ooh, I agree. Yeah, so what are you guys' thoughts? Do y'all think it's a PR stunt? You think they genuinely in a relationship? Do you agree? Do you support
Wrong
this?
road. Wrong
road.
road. Wrong road for the both of them. So because this is such a wrong road, I feel like this can't be a PR stunt. I feel like in a world where Jonathan Majors was trying to win over Black women, okay, because, you know, now it's exposed that he allegedly, you know, put his hands on his white girlfriend. He would need to go find somebody who didn't have nothing to lose, who didn't have much of an impression. Find somebody young and Black, you know. For Meagan Good to be dating this man, girl, it just can't be true. It can't be true. And if it is, it's absolutely the wrong road. I did see somebody online say that this was the perfect setup because Meagan Good literally has nothing to lose because she has the acceptance of Black people forever. But I just don't see why she would. I feel like there hasn't been any negative news on Meagan Good ever. So why would you decide to be with this man?
There was some negative news on her when people thought she was bleaching her skin.
Well, yeah, but like relationship wise.
I mean, the shit with the husband and, you know, the church people. But, I mean, that's still, you know, for the majority of us, well, nobody has an issue with her. Like you said, people going to always love her for the most part. But I absolutely feel like she's still somebody that people will love to hate. So there's a part of it that I feel like I don't believe it. I don't want to believe it because I don't think it makes sense. But it's like one of those times where somebody was like, oh, we should just put these two people together and see what happens. And it causes a splash because it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, that's what this feels like to me. I want to know who said they saw them somewhere. Where are the pictures? Okay, I want to see the proof that they were together somewhere.
And why are they?
Because I haven't seen
nobody
it.
saying nothing. Meagan Good,
neither one of them.
Media?
Yes.
Nothing.
I also wonder if the information could be delayed, late, as in we know he was texting another woman in the cab, or that's what they were reporting. So could he have possibly been kicking it with her at that time? Was she the person he was texting? And after all of this happened, could she have possibly stopped talking to him after that? And the information we're getting is actually months old information.
That's a possibility, absolutely. That they were talking before all of this shit happened. But didn't people say that they really started talking during the time when this happened? Because, you know,
she reached out to him.
Yes, which doesn't make sense. Why would you reach out to somebody that's been accused of DV? Like, I don't. But you know what? That episode of her on SVU,
Support
girl,
the Black
I'll
men.
never forget it.
What was the episode?
Y'all remember that episode when she was on SVU and she was like, her episode was the one on your boy Ray Rice. Remember when he punched the girl and his wife and they got married after that and all of that? Meagan Good was on there with a man. We've seen him in other stuff, but I don't know his name. But she was basically the abused wife that kept taking him back. And, you know, Child, it was sad. But I feel like if you could play that role, you could probably really be like that sometimes too. So who knows, child? Because I do feel like that last marriage, nobody's talking about it, but something about him gives me emotionally like abusive. Talk to you real slick, like try to make you feel bad about yourself. Like, even though we don't see it from Devon, I feel like it's there. So I think she might have like, a little bit of a thing for crazy ass niggas. Wouldn't be the first time.
Who was she with before him? Like, who
It
were
was
people who she dated openly?
I think it was a football player, like a dark-skinned, tall, muscular dude. I cannot think of his name, but I do believe that
Was
he
it
used
the
to
dude that
get
was on P
physical with
Valley?
her. Huh?
Was it the
Nah.
football player that was on? It wasn't him.
Mm-mm. What is this
think.
man's name? Oh, I have a picture of him. I'll just share the screen real quick so you can see what he looked like real quick.
Girl, I'm Googling to see if I can find who the other boyfriends were.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now.
Oh, him? Yeah, okay.
This guy right here. He's a former NFL star,
Yeah.
Thomas Jones.
He was on Pete Valley. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So that is he.
Child, not Soldier Boy.
Yeah. Oh, abusive.
Nick Cannon. Jamie Foxx. Really? Joseph Gordon-Levitt? I don't know how true
I
that
don't
is.
know. I mean, they got Tyrese on here, so I don't know.
They got Tyrese, they got 50 Cent, Lil Wayne.
Maybe it was people she just, accompanied on the red carpet versus.
Yeah, don't do it, Meagan. Don't do it.
I love me some Bryce Wilson.
But see, here's the question that I do pose, right? What if let's say he didn't do this crime and he's innocent until proven guilty? Is still a problem for her to date him?
It's just not a good look to be publicly dating somebody until these things have been resolved. So even if she was dating him, why are you telling everybody about it?
That's the part.
Well, is she? Because
she
came to
said
us
nothing.
with
That's
this?
true.
Yeah, who came to us with this?
TMZ, as they've been coming to us with everything.
But ain't clarifying nothing. I need you under the comments like Nia Long when they come out and say something about her. She will be under the comments. Just living life. Yeah, they were saying she was dating somebody and she commented and said, just living life. And then if you go to she was underneath Babyface comments a couple weeks ago when he was talking about his kids and she said, disgusting. I need you living under the comments and responding and being your own media team and letting us know what's true and false.
Wow. Okay. Well, there's that when it comes to Mr. Meagan and him. I guess we'll find out at a later time what's really real. But in the meantime, I do want to get into these two individuals because I want to get you guys' thoughts about Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. She has been getting a lot of backlash due to her thoughts in the interview, okay? Due to what she's been dealing with as far as anxiety and just being in her relationship and stuff and finances and stuff. She did admit to the fact that they go like 50-50 on a lot of stuff. So I do want to go ahead and pull up what it is she had to say. So let me try and get that for y'all real quick.
I struggle with that still, just because I think I just have more responsibilities, for my money. So I get nervous, like, oh God, that movie didn't open, well, what does that mean? Am I gonna have enough to hold everybody up? And everyone's like, it's coming, like, calm down. And I'm trying to find peace in the journey, not using my anxiety and scarcity mindset to be my engine, which is hard. It's weird to say I'm head of household because in this household, we split everything 50-50. But in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts there's always this like gorilla on your back that is like, you better work, you better work. You gonna sleep in? Somebody might not eat.
Yikes, somebody might not eat. Just letting you guys know, what she said. I wanted to get y'all thoughts on the 50-50 because a lot of people feel like he's a multimillionaire. And how dare you sit up there and split any bills with a man that makes such money? What are your thoughts about that?
They're stupid. Okay, let me explain why. Just let me hear me out.
Okay.
You're stupid because you shouldn't even feel like that about somebody else's pockets. Like that ain't got nothing to do with you. With them people decide to do with their money.
Right.
But if I'm somebody with money, I'm not gonna let any man pay for everything because then I don't have any power in the situation. That doesn't even make any sense. Like at the end of the day, men who have a lot of money, when they are with women and they pay for everything, they are always reminding those women at one moment or another that they paying for everything, and they begin to resent them. And like she said, they pay for other people to live. So it makes sense for them to split their household bills, and because their money has to go in other places and help other people as well. They both have a lot of money. And I'm just trying to understand, what was she supposed to do with her money if it's not also contributing to their household? Like her money just supposed to sit there and stack until she die or something like that? I just also, me personally, being somebody that has watched somebody be financially abused and has been financially abused, having your own, having a real portion in what's being provided also to me equals up to having power in the dynamic. So I feel like this is about maintaining equality in the dynamic of their relationship and in the financials, because Gabrielle probably has felt the unequalness when she makes more money, and he's probably felt the unequalness when he makes more money. So in order to make both people feel secure, you do your half, I'll do my half. That way we can have our other shit to fund whatever other stuff we have that we're helping, family members with. Absolutely. And stuff like that. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I have to agree.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know what she means by 50-50. I'm sure, well, my assumption is that y'all aren't splitting the mortgage 50-50, the electricity 50-50, and I'm sure you're not doing that. But if I think about myself being in her position and the way that she spoke on them having to feed different households, I think about the extra child that he created when y'all were allegedly on a break. I think about you coming to the public saying that you eat this man's ass. Shit. And I feel like that's a lot of work. And I wouldn't want to be living in that anxiety, like she said. So I feel like she could contribute and she should contribute, but 50% and living in some sort of anxiety, I wouldn't do that. And maybe you still want to contribute 50-50. Maybe some people just gonna have to go get a job. I don't know what their setup is when it comes to how many people they supporting, but to me, it sounds like she's doing too much.
To me, it sounds like it was a decision that she wanted.
Yes, I think
could see him like probably wanting to foot the bill for everything, right? But I also could see her wanting to, as Bondy said, have that power and that leverage in the relationship. So you can't never come at me and be like, you do this, you do that for me, or throw anything up in my face. And I think when she talks about that anxiety is really tied a lot to her past, which is interesting because then she write a book, and that book was kind of like about healing and stuff. And I could be wrong, but it seems like she hasn't fully healed everything because she still has that revisited anxiety from the past. Like she has an abundance of wealth, but she still kind of operates like as though she's struggling, I guess. I mean, like lack of a better word, like that's
scarcity mindset. That's what
scarcity mindset. Like that's where she is. So I mean, I think that if that's something that makes her comfortable, I think he's like, okay, that's fine. But I think he got it.
Oh yeah, he does have it. And it's probably more so you put your amount in the joint account, and this, like we both have a certain amount going into a joint account, and then the bills for everything that we have together comes out of this account, but then we also still have our separate accounts. So that's probably really what it is. When when Necey said, she's sure it's not them splitting every bill down the middle, but just splitting expenses, period, in the household down the middle by both putting in 50% of what they're making, you know what I'm saying, into their joint situation, which, you know, I don't see a problem with. But I also feel like, I'm gonna tell you another thing that it's about. It's also about if it doesn't work out. If it doesn't work out and she has allowed him to be financially responsible for her, or if she doesn't know, you know what I'm saying, what the finances are like, and they break up, she's probably scared of being put at some disadvantage. So having some control over her own finances is her reassuring herself that I'll always be okay regardless to what happens between me and him. And I think that's probably, you know, where that comes from. Like, if we break up, you can't pull the rug out from under me because I got me. So, you know, and I don't feel like that's a bad way to be, you know. But you're right, Necey. She do be, you know, over
That's
there
a lot
doing
of
a
work.
lot.
That's
But
a lot of work.
it's a lot of work.
50-50.
But we all know that women always
You
do
ain't
more
lying.
work, even when
That's
they,
a,
you
that's a
know.
lot of work.
Especially when you hit me with the eating that ass. Like, that
Women,
right
she
there is
like eating his
like,
ass. She
that's
probably
a
like eating his ass.
lot.
Oh, got to if she came on, unprovoked and said it.
Yeah.
Got to.
I'm just hoping he's waxed and clean and they
I'm
have, you
sure
know,
he is.
wipes
I
all
feel
over the
like,
house.
I wonder if she still does that. And I say that because when I was looking at pictures of them or trying to find images on Google, I feel like the more recent photos that they've taken together, they don't look as happy.
They look like
They don't
vampires.
look like
Yeah.
they're intimate. They don't look like they
Used to look like all like,
all over each other.
yes. Yes. I
Mm.
mean, and I'm sure that changes as you're in your relationship longer
This is
or
also,
whatnot.
you
But
know, you go through the ups and downs, the
mhm.
ebbs and flows, and they've had them already. I think they're
Yeah.
giving, you know, bad marriage for life.
Yeah, well, life partner,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will and
Which,
I
Jada.
can see that.
at the end of the day, most people won't tell you, but by the time you get 30 years into the relationship, that's what it be anyway.
Mm. Help.
I'm just
Well.
saying, you know, old people don't be caring. They do whatever the fuck they want to do. Old people don't care, girl.
Well, there's
There's that.
that. Anything else on these?
No,
Oh,
just
one
Oh,
thing.
what's up?
Gabrielle is 50 years old, y'all. That shit don't make no sense.
she look amazing.
She
Right?
does.
Like, what the fuck? What is the
50?
secret, bitch?
I
You
don't know
look
why I
the
thought she was
same.
40 something.
50.
Yeah, she look good. I'll give her that. Now I ain't gonna lie, girl. When I saw her here, it was something going on in the eye area that did not.
The
This photo
makeup.
looks good, but the live images of her, the live video, I was like, something was off.
It
But
was.
you know,
Vampire.
make no
Vampire.
mistake, she looks great. We are about to switch over. And what we're about to get into here is Love and
Uh-oh.
Marriage Huntsville, okay? But before we get into it, it's giving over 700 people in the chat, but the likes is only giving less than 300. And we do this for you guys, you know? So just come on in, hit the like button, let us know that you're having a good time with us. We would highly appreciate it, okay? But we're about to get into some things, okay? We know this is y'all favorite ratchet show on the OWN network, girl. Most stuff happen off the show than it do on the show. We know how much y'all love it. So we're about to just jump into the latest episode. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about some things. All right. So Melody stops by to see Tiffany. When she sees Tiffany, she lets Tiffany know about Martell and his antics. Okay. Martell has decided that he's not going to get his daughter after showing his arse at her birthday party. Okay. And cussing out her grandmama. All right. Melody decided to record this conversation so people know that she's not out here capping when she say what it is that she say. She plays it for Tiffany. And I saw some people have issues with Melody recording this audio of her baby daddy
They
who
have
be out
issues with
here
everything.
finessing. So let me know y'all thoughts about all of that. What did y'all think about her playing that audio for Miss Tiffany?
Yeah, I can't believe. Well, I can believe that people have an issue with it. I just think it's stupid as hell. I don't know when people gonna start believing what Mel says about Martell. They're actively in the middle of a court case. I'm not understanding. That's one of the things when I start watching this episode. I wanted to know, why is it that Mel and Martell have addressed the court case, but everybody else is still operating as if that's not a factor in their relationship? Everybody else is like, man, I can't believe that happened. I'm gonna pray for y'all. Everybody's like, man, I can't believe this happened. I don't know why she would do that. And they don't understand what's going on. Mel is recording him because she has to protect herself because this man does crazy ass shit. So yeah, Martell is trifling. Oh, I'm gonna come get her on Monday. And like I said, him showing up at the birthday party was never about his daughter, because if it was, he would have picked her up after that birthday party when Mel offered him the opportunity. It was always about showing up and making Mel look like the bad parent in front of the kids and causing a scene.
Absolutely. I also, looking at the situation with the custody battle, it's really annoying the way they all on the show acting like they don't know why Mel is upset. It, to me, it's almost like gaslighting. Like, we're gonna keep making Mel look like she's bitter on the show, even though everybody knows that behind the scenes this man is trying to take the kids away from her. I don't care about her recording the conversations. I felt the same way when Bambi was recording conversations with Scrappy. When somebody starts recording conversations, especially in a relationship, in a marriage, is usually because that person has been lying in front of people and saying a whole nother thing behind closed doors. So you start recording them so that when they take another opportunity to lie on you and say that something happened that, you know, didn't happen, or vice versa, you have your evidence to prove, no, they lying, this is what happened. And I'm cool with it. Tiffany, are you going to act like you now understand where Mel is coming from? Because for the longest, it seems as if you've been teetering on Martell's side, and I don't understand why. When she said, you know, oh, he always acts like it's you. It's like, well, are you watching? Because why would you think that it was her if you've been paying attention?
I don't know. I feel like Tiffany probably agree with people in their face. She probably be with Mel when she with Mel, and then be with Martell when she with Martell. But overall, it gives she really don't give a fuck
At all.
Agreed.
Maurice. One
Hate
thing
him.
one thing Maurice is going to do if he does nothing else is irritate the fuck out of everybody, including Kimmy. And we're tired, baby. Okay, we tired. Maurice does not know how to parent or discipline his child that he still calls a monster at the grown teenage age that he is. Get that baby another name, because now he over here acting like a monster, and then y'all don't know what the hell to do with it. So get that together. Number one, it's you not knowing how to discipline your child and stuff, but then you want to bring it to Kimmy, the stepmama, expecting her to help the same way you brought that damn boy down there, expecting her to help and do all of the work. She's telling you she need reinforcement and for you to have her back, and you don't even know how to do that, but instead you call the reinforcement of Kiowa, which was so stupid and so weird to me to call Kiowa when Kiowa wasn't even really a part of the conversation. You was trying to put her in the conversation. I feel like that just shows how you continue to disrespect this lady. And I don't see how she just lets it slide. It's like when we first met Kimmy did not play them games. Now Kimmy, who does not want to argue or have an issue, she just kind of like, she gets passive aggressive, like, I don't like when you say that. I don't like when you say, and it's like, I'm gonna need you to say it with your chest, and maybe he'll listen the next time around. But I just felt like that was rude and disrespectful, and I need him to stop making it seem like everybody around him are having issues with managing a monster, but him.
I said that Maurice strategically misunderstood. That's one thing I can't stand. He strategically misunderstood and then decided to call Kiowa in order to make shit awkward and to make it uncomfortable and put Kimmy on the spot. And it really did piss me off. He was acting just like his brother. It's like every now and then it's a glimmer where he seemed like he got a little more sense to him, and then it's like, oh nah, y'all brothers, you the big brother. Let me not forget. And yeah, Kimmy's patience was unmatched, and it is aggravating to see her have to be ever so patient and be like, I'm so sorry he brought you into this. Huh? Well, and then you see how quick he tried to hang up off the phone. Oh, okay, well, I won't hold you. As soon as
Kiowa was agreeing
with Kimmy. So yeah, that scene was cringe as fuck. And what she needs is for you to back her up. But the thing that's so damn funny to me is that he knows the issue isn't Kyle. In my opinion, I think that Maurice doesn't want Kimmy to parent Monster. Because it reminds me of whenever the whole vaping situation happened the season before last. He didn't tell Kimmy. And he told Kimmy that he felt like it was a situation that she didn't need to be involved in. Only he and Kyle even knew about it. Kimmy wasn't aware of it until Tiffany brought it to her. So, yes, the issue is with you. You don't want her to parent Monster, but you're trying to gaslight and make her uncomfortable and pin like this Kyle with Kimmy thing. I don't like that.
So I'm gonna just say it, cause I know it might get back to her. Kimmy, you know we fuck with you over here. You know we do. Okay, passive aggressive or not, we love you. All right. So when I say this, don't be mad at me. Girl, I don't know why you married that man. I don't know why, after 7 years of dating this little pig in a blanket, you decided to marry him so he can turn you into a mattress maid and a damn mule. Shout out to Erica De Niro. You are still recovering from cancer, and he is expecting you to discipline the volatile 16-year-old boy that is named Monster. The lady recovering from chemo and cancer is supposed to discipline your teenage son. And then when she asks you to back her up, you say that she created the rule and then she's asking you to reinforce it. And I'm like, do you know how family dynamics work? There's no way your father was ever in the household with your mother when you were paying attention, or he wasn't shit when he was there. Because the first thing I can remember about my daddy was, if you need to be disciplined, that's who you call. Okay? The daddy is supposed to discipline, especially boy children. Like, what the fuck is the point of you being there and being a father if you are not going to raise him? And then you have these conversations with Martell in tight ass suits about how you don't want the streets to raise your son. And I'm just kind of like, what the fuck does that mean? The streets are going to raise him because it seems as if you aren't, and you don't want Kimmy to do it, and Kiowa is in Michigan. Also, they need to deal with the fact that if he's not cleaning his room, he may be depressed. I think if he is depressed, he's depressed because he misses his mom. You brought him here with the expectation that you were going to be there for him and parent him, but all you've done is pass off all of the responsibilities of raising your son to Kimmy. That's why you had to make sure that she got well soon, right? So she can go back to doing all of those things that you don't want to do, like raising your kid. And then the funny part is that you won't even listen to her as it pertains to how to raise him, even though she's actually raised a successful young black man. Honestly, more successful than you. It's crazy to me how her son is seemingly more successful than you, Maurice. Everything that you have is because of Kimmy, even though you're her husband and a grown-ass man. Her son, who she raised, had his own house, cleaned up his debt from school and all of that. Now he has rental properties. He even had his little bullshit job on this show so he could utilize access to this platform as well. That little boy know what he doing over there. And you was acting like he's not motivated enough. When the truth of the matter is, you've been projecting on Jalen and your son this entire time because you're not motivated enough. Is that the reason why you were only in credit repair until you got on this show? Because we know credit repair ain't a real job. We know it's not. And they still questioning whether you actually passed the bar. You got an office and a whole bunch of nice suits, but are you making any money? Or is it Kimmy being a nurse and then having all of her businesses and her successful real estate business that's actually making you the money? Yeah, Kimmy, once again, why did you marry him? Because good dick is not enough.
Didn't he say, I feel like he said this last season that his whole plan was to have Monster busy? Wasn't he trying to put Monster in all these programs and do this and do that? I want you to do this and do that. And then now all of a sudden you don't know what to do and parent him. I don't know. I don't know. I'm wondering. I feel like he probably just don't like being down there. I think you said it right. I think that boy want to go back to his mama.
I don't know enough. I really don't feel like they show Monster enough. I feel like Maurice wants to parent Monster, but he doesn't want Kimmy involved. He wants Kimmy to do the shit that he don't want to do, like clean. But when it comes to actually raising his character, disciplining, he don't want Kimmy involved. Now I think he handles that separately. He just don't want to say it out loud.
Well, then he's gonna have to understand that you can't have it that way. That's not how any of this works. You
She's
can't.
letting him have it that way though, because you remember how she went up for him when it came to the vape situation, when really she should have been just as mad at Maurice as she was at Tiffany. So she knows that that's the dynamic of their relationship. So this ain't no surprise.
And she not gonna do what is required. She not gonna
No,
stop. Because
this
to
ain't
me,
no
I wouldn't
surprise.
be doing shit for him if I can't tell him what to do around here. Like you said, I'm creating rules and expecting you to reinforce. Well, you created a child and you're expecting me to take care of it. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna. He wants to eat. I bet you he gonna get his ass up and fix himself something to eat. If this house is dirty, I guess this house gonna be dirty. If I was her, I would go and stay at my son's house and let them dirty that house up and live in filth. Okay, and just come in when I need to get something and be on my way out. I would be punishing the fuck out of Maurice. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
He needs to be punished because he's a child too.
Yeah, I hated whenever she had that scene with Tisha 2 episodes ago, and she was trying to give Tisha advice on how to talk to a Scott man. And I felt like there is no advice on how to talk to a Scott man. You want to know how to maneuver around all the mental gymnastics that they play when you say something to them. They strategically misunderstand, or they sarcastically try to, they do that reverse psychology, similar to how Marceau said, "Oh no, we're all using you. We're all using you for the expo." So it's just, they are so tiring. And honestly, they might get it from their daddy.
Oh yeah.
Like, you had to be around that level of mental abuse to be, because they don't realize that's mental abuse. Whenever you playing with somebody's mind and you strategically misunderstand, or you try to play them and you gaslight, they're doing it. It's natural.
It's mentally exhausting, and you can't put a name on it because you're just trying to have a conversation. You're just trying to get to the bottom of the shit, and they just keep moving the goalposts and moving shit around, and until you just tired and forget what the hell your point even was. And that's what they want. They want to tire you out mentally so you can forget what you were arguing or asking them for.
It's called a black hole conversation. That's what they call it. Black hole conversation.
A black hole? Oh, okay.
Black hole conversation. People like that will talk to you until you get tired. The conversation is never ending.
Child, just circular over and over and over again. Child, I know people who do that. That's why I don't really talk to them no more. But yeah, I'm looking at Kimmy like, girl, like, is this what we paid for? Is this what we worked so hard for all of our life, Kimmy? This is what we had all of that good discipline for, so we can go and pick up some grown-ass man-child that pretends to be an adult? He pretends, he performs, but he's not really it. Because if he was, you wouldn't have to have these very simple conversations. Tell him to rake the fucking leaves. Tell him to take the garbage out. Why is that something that you and I have to argue about?
Right.
That's so simple. That's what you're supposed to be trying to teach him how to do, is clean up behind himself. But remember, again, Maurice doesn't feel like men should have to do housework, apparently. They shouldn't have to clean up behind themselves. Only women should do that.
That is
but
stupid.
It is, because you're going to be living in filth, because nobody's going to want to deal with that. Like, it's
They're
2023.
not.
Like, the girls aren't Kimmy.
Yeah. They should have nipped that in the bud a long time ago when that boy first got there.
It's
when
called
first
discipline.
got there.
Clean
And
up
he-
every.
Didn't Maurice say he didn't feel like he should have to share with Kimmy? I think Necey or one of y'all mentioned that he shouldn't have to share with Kimmy, and she was pretty much agreeing that she didn't need to know all the ins and outs and stuff.
Yeah,
they messed up when that boy first came down there. They should have started nipping stuff in the bud.
Yeah,
but I
she
feel like
agreed with
Kimmy
him.
could have tried, and she probably wasn't respected in that position, so then she probably felt bad. Like, I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing.
I think that Monster is doing whatever he sees his dad do. Like, if you see your dad don't really respect this woman and just use her to cook and clean, then you gonna do the same thing. You don't respect what she gotta say because your dad don't make you respect what she gotta say.
Right, she was in the house.
That's simple. Lauren Young says, I think he is jealous of Kimmy's parenting skills, maturity, and assertiveness as a woman. He is threatened because Kimmy is smarter, and he does not want to admit he needs Kimmy more than he likes to. Thank you for the super chat.
That's true.
I'm unable to post it. I'm sorry.
The
she
comment
says,
section weird.
I thought it was just me. Mine aren't updated.
Yeah, she also says, Lauren, thank you again for the super chat. She says he is so jealous he can't wrap his mind around the fact that Kimmy was a successful woman and mother without a man,
It's not
which
just
is
that.
why he won't take her advice.
He said
Thanks for
this
the super chat.
episode that he's jealous of Monster. And I was like, well, there it is
He
right
did.
there.
What? I missed that.
He did. I'm glad you called that out, Bonnie, because when he said that, I thought that was weird. To say you were jealous. To say, do you know how far I would be if I had everything that if I had half the stuff he had?
Okay. I remember that now.
And I was just kind of like, but that's stupid. You're stupid. Do you not understand the point of parenting? Like generationally, you're
Yes.
supposed to do better.
them more.
You're
Yeah.
supposed to give them more. You're supposed to want to give them more. But see, this is the thing. I think a lot of men are very selfish. And when I say selfish, I mean they don't do anything if it doesn't benefit them. They don't do anything unless they sleeping with a woman. They don't do anything unless it's gonna make them look good. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these men move like that. So the whole fatherhood thing and wanting a monster to come there, it's about how it looks. It's not about how it really is. And I feel like Maurice is one of them people. You're really selfish. You never really probably wanted to raise your son, but you know that's what look good when he gets a certain age. If you want to be considered a man of caliber, then when your son get a certain age, now you have to raise him. But why did you wait 7 years to marry Kimmy and you marry Kimmy right before it's time for him to move into the house with y'all? It felt like you only married Kimmy so that she would take care of your son because you knew that you weren't equipped and you didn't really want to have to do that. I don't really want to have to take care of my kid. I just want to say that I did so that people will think I'm a great father and I can use that, as a way to bolster my, my reputation.
Likability.
Yeah, and your likability. But essentially, you ain't really doing any of the work. And when we think about it, y'all, what does Maurice do for a living again?
Yeah, I thought he fixed credit.
I thought he was a lawyer.
I mean, I
fixed his
asked myself
credit.
why he got so many suits.
But why he got so many suits? It's starting to give Martell. It's starting to give Martell where they know how to make it look like they doing something. They know how to make it look like they got it together. But essentially, their women are the ones holding them up.
Has he not passed the bar yet, or has he? Because I mean, and it's no shade to him at all. That was just interesting when Necey said he fixed his credit, and I'm like, you're an attorney, like you could be doing so many things, but you're fixing credit. I was just wondering whether or not he passed the bar, and maybe that's why.
Well, a lot of the older ladies on YouTube say he didn't pass it. They can't find any record of him, I guess being a part of whatever registration and
yeah.
But he got a brand new office though. He got a brand new office.
Yes.
I mean, that is a benefit to being an attorney. Like, you still can be successful without passing the bar, but it would behoove you too because you can do more stuff.
Did y'all
Like
find it
practice?
interesting that Kimmy showed the podcast room? I haven't heard of any podcasts from Maurice.
Ever. I thought I was tripping.
In the office, she said this is the room where he records, and it was a podcast set up. I think she even said the word podcast.
She said it. She said podcast.
Oh, y'all remember like when he wanted to critique everybody? Remember that?
Yeah.
So I feel like he probably thought that he could do the YouTube thing and then would keep doing it and realize it's not that easy, or he didn't like it, so he would keep scrapping it and never really put it up. And to me, that sounds in line with how he is. You start projects and you don't finish them.
Well. Let's see what else. I want to say about these people, because there was more that happened on this episode.
But wait, there's more.
Don't go.
The high tea. Mel invited the ladies out, a few ladies of the cast, and they brought their plus ones or whatever. So these plus ones came along, and Miss Nell. First of all, y'all, I can't do Nell. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just like, why y'all got this lady here, giving her cue cards, forcing her to start conversations.
I feel something with the energy.
Yeah,
like ain't no damn energy. Production told you to say that shit.
Thank you. Which leads to Stormy Mama kind of like slick checking her, telling her you don't even know what's going on, and you trying to ask something, like you trying to find out what the hell going on. And I'm hollering at that, okay? Because Miss Betty clearly don't give a damn. But Betty pretty much kind of like came out about her issue with Mel, and she says that she had a problem with how Mel does things. And she brought up the whole conversation that Destiny played the audio because Mel went on her Twitter and she said somebody leaked audio or something. No, somebody recorded her or something, but that really came from an interview. When she came back to clear it up, she just said it wasn't the person that was in the room, but Stormy's mom wanted her to be direct and just say, hey, it wasn't Stormy. Okay. So Mel did apologize to her if that was an issue and she felt the way, because according to Mel, she didn't know that there was an issue between them. But I kind of think that she did know, because she did say in the interview that when they went to the whole Kimmy situation, production had already told her that the mama was feeling away about some stuff. But I don't think that she knew she was feeling away about that. But either way, that's where they are. What did you guys think about Stormy's mom and her reaction to Mel's Twitter and stuff?
Girl, shut up. That's how I feel. Girl, shut up. I really wish that Mel wouldn't have kept it cute and would have simply said,
that's what I said.
Well, Miss Betty, that's cute that you feel that way, but I don't really care about how you feel about me. I don't really care. I don't have time to check social media because your daughter is too sensitive to be on this platform. I don't have time for that. So either she's going to pick her pussy up or she's going to get off the show. But either way, you can't check me, boo. Moving on. I would love for Mel to nicely, calmly check people, because Betty was there to, first of all, Stormy, are you really going to sit up here and act like you don't have an issue with Mel when this is what's going on? You going to bring your mama and then set your mama up? Like, if you had an issue with Mel not specifying that it would, specifically Stormy didn't record me, then why didn't you say that to her when y'all had a conversation?
Because
why is your mama bringing that
have
up?
An issue? Maybe it is her mom. That was my only thing. I'm like, if you have if it's you, then you do need to say it. Like, just tell her that. Just be honest and tell her that. But if not, I feel like the mama wasn't wrong. Like, as far as saying Mel need to be direct, because Mel could have been direct. Because if the situation was in Stormy's hands and people started to drag Mel would have wanted the same thing, which was, girl, all you had to do was tell them folks that it wasn't me. You didn't have to say person. You could have just been direct. So that's how I was looking at it. Like, Mel would want the same thing in return. It's just that she would respect it more if it came from Stormy versus it coming from the mama.
I agree with you about Mel needing to be direct and why not just say some shit. I do agree with you about that. But at the same time, Miss Betty didn't like Mel even before that. So very to true. Me, you just were looking for a reason that sounded good enough. And you really just was trying to come there to check her because you're a jealous old bat that's mad that Mel is who she is. Like, let's just keep it a buck. Mel has a personality and an air about herself that makes people feel bad about themselves if they aren't confident enough. Especially them bitter old women that, live through their daughters and see their daughters as competition for women like Mel. Same thing with Wanda and Tisha. So when Betty came in there talking about, I just don't like the way you handle things, it's like, yeah, we can understand that, but don't come in here checking me in person over some shit you saw on reality TV as a fan, because I feel like you really don't like how she handles shit as a fan. Because if we were really thinking about it, they say shit all day every day about everybody on the show. Mel did come out and say the person who was in the scene with me did not record me. She did say it. There was only one person in the scene. I do feel like there was shade, but I also feel like if we're going to acknowledge that Mel was shading Stormy in that moment, then we're gonna have to admit that Stormy had been shading Mel, in all of the miscellaneous ways that she had been doing. You're hanging with these people and you're seeing with these people. Now you're bringing your mama because you want your mama to say what her issue is. And then this is the thing that really bothered me about Stormy in the scene. Nell didn't even say anything. Nell just said this is the opportunity to get it out on the table. Yep. And then Stormy turns around and says, yes, but my mom would be able to say it if you would just stop talking. And I was just
with her on that, because I don't care what nobody says. I ain't featuring.
Oh, you was with Stormy?
Yes, absolutely. Because I'm like, I just don't like how they forcing her, because she gave me a bad taste when she came to Mel and trying to make it seem like it's Mel's fault from whatever Martell's telling her. So you coming from an angle of you just automatically believe in Martell and you finna come and check her. So I said, okay, now I see what y'all doing. Y'all trying to force this lady onto the show to just be some type of relevant. So I was with Stormy, like, this is Mel's tea. Mel was, I'm sure, going to do like the Housewives. Everybody go around and say what they need to say. We were going to get there. We didn't need her to add in no extraness and then not even know what she was talking about for real. So I was with Stormy when she was like, just be
I don't
quiet.
think Nell had even.
Yeah, I don't think
Nell
so either.
didn't even say, not unless they edited, because that's
Yeah,
supposed to.
unless
It was a
they
couple
edited
awkward
something.
Scenes. Yeah, they could have edited. But the reason why I felt a way about Stormy telling Nell, like, I just need you to be quiet, is because Stormy was playing in our faces. You started out your confessional talking about, I want my mom to see that me and Mel's dynamic is good. And then as soon as you know your mama comes to the scene with the bullshit, you want everybody to be quiet because you want her to speak on your behalf. That to me was annoying as hell. The same way you came to her asking about, oh, I'm not gonna DM you, I don't DM my friends. You should have kept that same energy and you should have said something to Mel one-on-one. It's given, and I said this, I would be weary of only children. I'd be weary because they be chameleons. They like to get along with the majority, and that's what Stormy is giving. And I feel like she is.
Well, Mel, the only child on her mama's side, she didn't connect with her people till later,
though.
right? But she didn't connect with them until later. So I'm like, if we say that about her, that would be the same for Mel, then, right?
I mean, we know everybody not gonna fall into that category, but
everybody not. But there's
so
also
then we could use that category.
It's also that negative codependency that only children have with some parents, and I don't think that we see that with Mel. Mel has a certain level of independence about herself. Stormy also is a businesswoman, so I'm not going to say that,
But
she
the
won't
fact
be
that
as
Stormy's
successful.
mom needs to fight her battles for her tells us that there's a codependent relationship where you haven't had to really stand up for yourself. Your mom has come in all the time. That's where the single child, me and my child against the world, but I'm not teaching them how to fend for themselves type of thing is giving,
And that's what I wonder about, because I'm like, she says she does not like when her mom does that, but she does not stand in with her chest.
She didn't stop her.
What she's doing is trying to fill the gap with for Wanda, and I feel like this is strategic. I feel like when I was saying like the only children are very they're very sociable, and I think that that's what's helped her be successful as a business person. She's been successful enough to network her way onto this show. That's what she's doing with her mother. You're producing. I don't like that.
It's so true. And one of my favorite movies growing up was Now and Then. All of the white girls in this movie.
I love that movie.
You love that? Okay. So the moment when they get on Thora Birch's character, Melanie Griffin's character, the actress, they talked about how like growing up alone as a single child and her parents always being out partying and her kind of being by herself is what solidified her being like an actress, because she had to entertain herself. So I think that could also be a part of it. Like when you're always by yourself or when you have to kind of like fend for yourself, you don't really see past or don't see things a certain way because you've only been just you. And if you've had that relationship with your parent where it's just you and that parent, there's that codependency thing. So I do feel like there's some truth to it. I mean, technically you could say I'm an only child because, my sister's 9 years older than me. So by the time I'm 12, 13, she out the house, so and I'm and I'm in my room, okay, talking to my damn self, like the girl off Now and Then. So, and I do have some codependent relationships, girl. I'm trying to get it together. Girl, you being there just
talking to yourself.
What happened? Girl, I don't
No,
know. Reciting shit, dancing. Girl, I used to just be in the room entertaining my damn self because it was just me. And even before my sister moved out, because she was so much older than me, she didn't want to be bothered with me. So she would just go in her room and close her door. And then I'd be sticking my fingers under her door. He aggravated with me. Stop sticking your fingers under my door. Well, bitch, let me in. But anyway, in my life, girl. But I still didn't like Betty's energy. I do feel like Stormy is playing in our face. And this is what I want to tell y'all. At the spa day, I think that Stormy was intentionally trying to be adversarial with Mel. All Mel is saying is that y'all doing too much in this spa. This is a spa. This is not outside. This is not us at a restaurant. This is a fucking spa. And you are screaming curse words to the top of your lungs in these people's business. I'm embarrassed. So I want y'all to stop. And you talk about, now we need to have these conversations because you got to talk things out.
If you want to move forward.
If you want to move forward, exactly. All of that was passive aggressive. So to me, I feel like even though everybody acting like they ain't got no issue, I very much feel like Stormy has an issue with Mel and it's not being direct either. So,
I
you know,
that too.
I said,
and
I stand
ain't
by
nobody
this.
being direct. None of them.
Nobody is. Stormy, get your mama off this show.
Please.
Get your mama off this show because I don't want to get to the point to where I'm talking about your mama like I was talking about Wanda. And it's giving your mama is participating as a full cast member like Wanda. Get your mama off the show because I know that she don't like. Somebody was talking about something with her and a blogger allegedly was happening a couple weeks ago. I don't know if it's true.
The blogger that went to her place and showed up.
Yeah, what
maybe
the hell?
I heard that, but then I heard that she went off on somebody because they said something on social media. I heard that she went off on somebody because of something they said. So for me, I'm gonna need you to get your mama off this show.
Her mama went off on somebody.
No. Stormy did. Stormy allegedly
off.
Stormy went off on somebody for what they said on social media.
Oh damn. Well.
There was a situation Bondy was talking about though, where somebody showed up to her warehouse.
They went to her warehouse to do what?
Girl, I guess see if she was really producing products because they keep acting like she's not really doing good in her business. So I think I can't remember what YouTuber it was, but somebody with a camera. Courtney comes outside like, what you doing here? Because they got cameras all up and down the parking lot so they can see them walking and a camera following her. So of course they don't have people there on a reality show, so they like, what the fuck going on? They go outside and the girl is the lady, the YouTuber or whatever, they must have recognized her. That's some weird ass shit. You coming around here to my business and all of that. So Stormy and Courtney were cursing her out until she went and got her ass in her car and left. But they doing the most. Like, wow. Going to people's businesses and all of that. Y'all be doing the most.
Y'all, that is doing the most. I'm like, you better be glad they cussed you the dog fuck out. Because I would have and probably would have called the cops on your ass for trespassing. Like, are you dumb?
Yeah, she's talking about, she just wanted to buy some products. Who shows up to a warehouse to buy products?
Oh, God. Well, you could go to Target. You can get to a Target quicker than you can get to or CVS before you get to my damn warehouse.
Right.
Girl, now, if they would have folded your little ass up and waited for the cops to come, it was going to be your fault. So then now you over here trying to impress people or the fans on YouTube, whoever you trying to impress, and you done caught a case and ain't none of them about when they help you get out of it. Like, girl, what? And this is why I don't really do this show. I do it with y'all.
This is why.
Because giving weird. Like, are you okay? Are you okay? Anything else about this particular portion here with the high tea? We need more directness from the people on the show.
Kiki.
Nobody likes nobody. Oh,
Kiki.
Kiki was direct as hell with Tiffany, wasn't it?
Kiki was trying to give a low budget, great value Phaedra Park read to me. And I was not here for it. You poor, pitiful, poor soul. And let me tell you the difference between no of and no. Girl. No. She went and bought her Housewives boot camp coupon on Groupon. But anyway, I think it was unnecessary. A lot of the conversation that I saw was, do I believe that people should not have came for Tiffany because Tiffany pregnant? Let me say this. I never had an issue with Tiffany saying that she didn't fuck with Kiki. Never did. I love when somebody say it with their chest. If you say how you feel, that's fine. You entitled to how you feel. My thing is, I don't give a fuck about it enough to talk about it episode after episode after episode. And for Kiki to read at the level in which she did, and incite these scenes, because it feels like Kiki's the one that's keeping it going. I don't see Tiffany continuing to bring it up time after time after time. I'm kind of just like, Kiki, you just want a moment, and I'm tired of it. And talking about, I went on a whole crusade to help you find your father. That was giving Phaedra Parks all the way. You didn't go on a damn crusade. You came on the show to film a scene as Mel's friend because you want to be on the show. So, Kiki, girl, go to sleep.
When you say it like that, it is giving Kiki let it go.
It is.
She don't fuck with you.
I feel the same way you feel about, if Tiffany don't fuck with her, Tiffany don't fuck with her. But I also felt like, as it pertains to Tiffany being pregnant, I'm gonna need for you to keep your pressure down, because at the spy scene, like, okay, you don't like her, you don't see it for her, but to continue to impress that, like, she shouldn't be around the group because you don't trust her or don't like her. I'm like, you shouldn't trust any of these bitches, to be real. Kiki and anybody else. You shouldn't trust Tisha neither. But, Mel, whoever, like, don't trust nobody on here, because everybody's out for self, and you should know that. And you shouldn't trust them because you have been backstabby to a lot of people coming on this show acting a fool when you feel the need to, and all of that type of stuff. Because as much as she wanted to act like she was, feeling that way because Tisha was crying, you were still making fun of Tisha and her puppets and all of that shit.
And we're going to find out next episode.
Okay, right. Still shading her. So, yeah, I just kind of feel like, Tiffany, you was being messy. I do feel like you have that highfalutin, bougie ass air to yourself, where I think you thought you were better than Kiki, and you was trying to say, that Kiki is basically low budget in comparison to you and Tisha. Like, that's the vibe it was giving. And I just want you to know that it might be Caucasian, it might be mixed with Caucasian, but it's still giving low budget. Like, no disrespect, it's giving intelligent.
It's giving Charming Charlie's with the necklaces.
Okay,
she's stuck in 2010.
Girl, it's definitely giving. Did you get that dress from where? Like,
Beauty's.
Stage?
Cato's closet.
Okay, like, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I like Tiff, I do, and I feel like she's just trying to do what she got to do to make sure she got this extra check because they got this baby coming. But this baby here. I like Tiff. I do, because honestly, like, I feel like she knows the assignment. Like, she understands the assignment, and she doesn't really feel that strongly about anybody. I just think she gets up there. Yeah, like, and I appreciate that. So it's kind of like, calm down, because you're the pregnant one.
Correct.
And also, I'm gonna need for you to, like, keep that same energy and recognize that everybody ain't, to be trusted. But you're not better than anybody, just to be clear. And I do feel like that's what Kiki was responding to. That's why Kiki was giving her the poor, pitiful soul and the rehearsed read that she had for her. And it did sound like you know more than know of her. It did sound like that. Even though, Kiki, I'm gonna need for you never in life to have to list all of the ways.
I think she knows of her. I don't think she know her like that. She said
no, not like that. But when you say, I know of somebody, I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna need for you never to have not one long conversation with them. And if you've been sitting at games with them people for at least, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't met her, you didn't met people in her life where I feel like y'all have had multiple conversations. You can say, yeah, I know her. I don't know her like that, but I know her. To say I know of her.
Not surprised
she
with
said
Tiffany.
that the son was on the team for a short period of time.
She did.
And Kiki, to me, seems like the type of person who wants attention so bad that you strategically signed your son up for this man's team for FaceTime. So he might have not even been on the team for but 3 games.
This is true.
Good night.
And if you have to prove that you know somebody, you don't know you.
Yeah, I tried to help you, Kiki. I tried to help you with that one. I did. I tried. I can't.
Because Kiki did lead with like this elaborate story about different ways that she knows this lady. So she definitely led with that. But what got me with Tiffany was when Tiffany said she had called Tisha and said something like she doesn't deal with something, and then she had corrected herself and said mess. And I said, you don't deal with what? Tiffany, stop lying. Girl, that's all you've been doing since you've been on this show. You know you're a messy little something. Now you're a pregnant messy. Okay. But anyway, anything else about this?
Nah, let this shit go. Kiki, Tiffany, if I hear one more fucking scene about y'all arguing about some bullshit, I'm screaming. I don't care. I do not care.
It's given the B section wants to be seen. Is what it's given. It's given bringing the stand-ins and let
the
them
second string.
Yeah, back up. Bring him back up. Let them, get their little airtime, and then we'll return back to our regularly scheduled programming. Tisha, Mel, Kimmy, in these niggas, when we ready. But until then, please, Kiki, Stormy, Tiffany, have scenes that don't have any real value to us. Thank you. Because the Reiki scene was another one that we could have just
I
not
did
had.
glaze past. I didn't even
I was like, did
understand
I
what was.
Kiki not gonna be honest anyway. Kiki is lying because Kiki wants to represent something so she can be solidified on this show. I think she feels like I'm gonna show Tisha how to do it. Like that's what it feels like to me.
That's where the reads is coming from. She don't want people to think she a punk. Like people be trying to act like Tisha is.
And she don't want to be deemed as stupid or illiterate.
Yes.
Tisha said absolutely nothing this scene.
She didn't, but she brought somebody with her, allegedly.
And that is what we're about to get into. Now, before we actually get into those things, because you guys have been asking about it, definitely go ahead and like up the video. Okay. I am going to let Bondy do a bit of explaining about it because I feel like Bondy knows way more than I do. So I'm gonna let her explain a lot, and then we'll get into the video and stuff regarding what's going on surrounding the Melody Holt situation, Cherie situation.
Okay, girl, let me just go ahead and break it down like this. So I wasn't even trying to pay attention to this, but it was all over the timeline. And I was just like, ooh, what is going on here? Who is this girl? So Carson Blue. Girl, I'm hearing she possibly was an ex-stripper turned hairdresser. She's married. She has kids. They trying to do a little something in Huntsville. They go down to Black. They meet the Scotts. They start getting invited to events. We find out that Carson Blue had a short friendship of 2 months with Ariane. And during that time, Ariane asked her opinion on whether she should do something that Martell was asking her to do. Martell was asking Ariane to make a fake Facebook page and post a video of Melody and him in flagrante delicto. He was getting fellatio from his wife, and he recorded it, and he was to have his mistress post it on Facebook as if it was some random man doing it. And Ariane on Facebook, and Ariane did not want to do it. And Carson, whatever her name is, she told Ariane not to do it because Mel would press charges, and then they would find out that it came from her or it came from Martell. But either way, she would be left out there to dry because Martell wasn't gonna save her. He was gonna act like she stole it out of my phone one night or some shit like that, and act like it wasn't him. But he would still be able to reap the benefits of publicly embarrassing Mel, which is the point. So this all comes out. Everybody's speculating, why did Tisha bring this girl to the tea and all of this type of stuff. And Mel came out with a live today. The live wasn't that long. And she just basically confirmed that everything the girl Carson said as far as, the video and Ariane's story was absolutely true, because Martell had sent Mel a clip of the video, like a little screenshot of the video, letting her know that he was going to post that when they got into it last year, and they were going back and forth in their stories. And she said she would call her attorney on him. So we didn't recognize that those things were related at first. Some people did, because y'all be paying close attention and I don't. But when Mel came out, she just basically laid it all out on the table and explained.
So okay, hopefully I'm at the
great
the top.
recap.
Wow, that's wild. That's some wild shit there, honey. Okay, I
I
think I
was
gotta go
shook.
back a little further. Like, what is going on, honey?
I was shook.
Let me see if this is where it starts.
With my then husband.
Shout out to Brown Skin Girl. We're using your
Then
video.
I finally said just
Thank
a
you.
little bit at that time. But so there was a video, a live that he did where he literally talked about the case and came for me. And I responded to that live. Whenever I responded to that live, he sent me a screenshot of the video, from the video, and I know the video. I remember where we were. You remember details of things. I remember the video that we did with my then husband, by the way, just in case any of y'all are questioning that. And said pretty much like, stop talking about me. I'm gonna drop this, even though I responded to a live you just did about me. Wow. But okay, bet. So I then took to social media and said, revenge porn, really? I don't do threats, I do promises. Sent the screenshot to my attorney with the text message. I have all of that.
Y'all forcing this lady to talk about this shit?
And
wow.
Then that was that, right? So for a couple of days ago, for someone to reach out, because Carson, just so y'all know, she did reach out to me directly a few days ago. So if you think that she didn't, she did. She came to me privately and directly with the information. And I knew she was telling the truth. I knew she was telling the truth because, by the way, this was August of 2022, y'all. But I knew she was telling the truth because he sent me a screenshot from the video, and I remember the video. So I never in a million years would have thought that you walking away or leaving a situation, divorcing someone, that it will result in them going to the depths of the earth, all the way to hell, to try to literally paint you a certain way, make people believe that you're a certain way, that you're promiscuous, that you was cheating on them in the marriage. All of these things I've sat back and listened to and really chose not to fully address them because it was laughable. Like, it was laughable because I knew all of the untruths in it. But some people ran with what they thought sounded good and what they thought, you know, because they don't want to like me for whatever reason, maybe because they think I act bougie or whatever. So they chose to run with this narrative that this man put out, saying all these things about me, going on national television, calling me a hoe, and all this stuff, that I'm sitting back here saying, this ain't the truth. Like, stop lying. Only for now for y'all to see and for it to come out that this person will go to the lengths of asking someone to create a fake page as a man to drop the video me and him did and act like it's him, the fake man. We've seen him go on this crusade to everyone on this show, to everyone in this city, people y'all don't even know about. We've seen him go on this crusade trying to make everyone think that I'm behind this and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And again, I'm sitting back thinking, no, not accurate. But I just choose not to say too much until I want to say something. I want to go for a minute to what it would have been like had this video had gotten dropped, because even though it didn't happen, in order to feel it and get it, we're gonna put ourselves in those shoes of someone you were with for 14 years, who you share 4 children with, who continuously claim that they want such a positive co-parenting relationship, but is doing the things that are being revealed. Then I say this is going to be the live of revelation today, that are being revealed. I ain't going looking for nothing. God continues to bring things and protect me. I didn't go ask nothing. I'm not going looking for nothing. But if you ain't learned one thing by now, the one thing you should have learned by now is God does not play when it comes to me. Period. Every single thing that has been sent out by the enemy to destroy, to deter, has always turned around and worked out for my good. Worked out for my good every time. So I have the text. I didn't go into detail of what was on the text when I did the post, but I'm going into detail today, and I'm telling you that what Carson said, she's not lying. She's not lying. I believe her 120% because I got the screenshot that he sent me in my phone, as does my attorney, right? So, that's one piece. When we talk about going to the depths, I'll be honest, I don't know what's your end game? What is your end game? Like, what is it that you hoping to gain from this? What's your end game? Because see, another thing I haven't talked about, again, wanting so hard to try to make me seem a certain way. Let's go to this text message because I already sent it to my MacBook so I can read it. Hey, TK, thank you so much. Also, wait to look out on that interview yesterday. It was amazing. She's going to be your co-host. The response is, now, Martell, you gave this woman the limelight. Don't do that. You got a co-parent for the next 18 years, and she's in love with you. You should consider settling with the cream of the crop. Okay. That came to my phone. Y'all know who TK is? I bet y'all didn't even know he was behind that interview happening, huh? I been knew that he took and aided in this interview happening. Because what happened is my phone got blown up. I didn't know who it was. Then the text happened. And this is no shade to Tasha K whatsoever. Like, I don't have an issue with her. Never have had an issue with her. But when I wasn't answering, I guess because I didn't know who it was. She said, happy Tuesday. I know you're laughing your ass off as you should. Martell upset that the world knows what he likes. Heads up, there's going to be a part 2 explaining my strategy for the interview. I said, oh, thank you for the heads up. Looking forward to talking to you in the near future. She said, best of luck on all your endeavors. Again, going back to the depths of what a person will do to try to turn people against you, try to smear your reputation, try to smear your name, knowing good and well that you're in the position you're in because of you. When does your healing start? That's my question. When does your true healing start? When do you start to really move on? When do you completely let go of the past and what was and move on and heal? When? Because that's what I've been doing over here. But when do you start to do that? My prayer is that you get there. My honest prayer is that you get there, that you allow yourself to get to a place of healing, because being in a place of healing, walking in that feels good. It feels amazing. And if I have been such a bad influence and I've been so terrible all these years, right? Then it should be, now that I'm not your life, you should be on top of the world. I don't know about y'all, but anytime I've ever released anything that was holding me back, I always grew to greatness. I always grew to greater. Anytime I removed anything or anybody that was holding me back, that wasn't contributing, that wasn't doing, I always rose up. So when do you start to rise up? Since I was, all of that. When do you start to rise up? When do you start getting up to the sky? On Delta or on something?
Somebody's playing Jesus. I think that was like the most of it though.
I told y'all to be patient with me through this live today. I never in a million years, the same way I said I never would have thought that I would not be in a home with my kids every single night and see my kids every day because I'm in the home with them every day. It's the same way I feel when it comes to, I never would have thought that I would be dealing with this with someone that I once loved, to the point that I married and had 4 children with and worked hard to build things with. I never in a million years would have thought that, but yet here
That's
we are.
crazy. Jamie, you muted.
You muted.
I said that's heavy as fuck, actually.
It is.
Yes, I was shook. I am afraid for men because this man is not tired. And later on in the video, she starts talking about how the devil don't get tired, and how the devil and it'll be a spirit inside someone.
She did talk about
And she
that.
talked about that, and I feel like that's what's taking over Martell. But the thing that bothers me is the way that the cast members went up for Martell this season and in previous seasons, yet no one has said anything, knowing that this shit has been confirmed, is disgusting. And just...
That's the MO though.
Yeah, it's just disgusting because this man is abusive and this man is a danger. He's a danger. And it bothers me because she questions and she says, when does it end? When do you begin to heal? And the fact that he still hasn't gotten there yet alarms me. And one thing that a narcissist hates is being embarrassed or exposed. So knowing that she had to speak on this, I feel like she's also doing that for her safety, to keep everybody along the road of what's going on. And I'm disgusted, and I don't want her anywhere near the show. I don't want her near the castmates, and I hope that this is the end. She also mentions later on in the video how she's been having a lot of dreams about death. She feels like there has to be a death inside of her to move on to something new. But she was very broad with that statement. It didn't sound like it was direct. Yeah, it didn't sound like it was directed towards the show, but it was.
Yeah, it could be death of like old ways or something.
Always
it should be of
thinking.
the show.
I'm glad.
It needs to be
of
the show.
I'm glad you said abusive, Necey, because that's exactly what I was thinking in my head. Because I saw a woman make a post the other day, and she's a talent agent out here, and she was just talking about her situation with her current husband trying to unalive her while her child was right there in the bed or whatever. But thank God, it didn't happen. But she found out he took images of her and sent them out to all of these people. And when I'm listening to this story, all I'm thinking about is that situation. And I'm thinking about this is a form of abuse. But when you see Martell on other platforms, people want to give him so much grace and all of this and that. And it's like, abuse does not have to be physical. But I feel like you can make this, like, this can be added to physical, you know what I'm saying? Because of the toll that it takes on her body when you're having to deal with this type of stress, from a person. It's giving every bit of dangers. It's giving Mr. CK.
What's the end game?
What's the end game? When you hear this information, what are your thoughts about it as far as
he knew about
parading
that
him around to go to these different interviews?
And that's exactly he knew that when all them interviews was happening, and you want to talk about Mel letting go of her husband's hand and all of that, knowing that he's doing this type of shit behind the scenes, that is disgusting. And you know what it reminded me of? Do you remember when they were hinting at a tape with Miss Van and the Scott brother? Where did y'all get that from?
Right.
Because now it makes me feel like Marceau and Martell had been talking to each other about that shit back then. Like, that's why I don't like these types of niggas. Because essentially, y'all always try to malign women when y'all can't get y'all way with trying to make the women seem like they're a hoe or something like that. When really you're the hoe. And everybody knows it. Okay? You're not choosy about your peen. It's obvious. So I'm floored at the fact that everybody's around Mel and continue to act like nothing's really happening and he's not as dangerous as he is when he really is dangerous as fuck. Like, that's crazy for you to want to do. That's the mother of your kids, and you would have her forever be embarrassed by putting a video out of her and you the other person. Like,
all this because he was mad that at the reunion she said she couldn't remember if she, what was it, received it.
Yes,
I'm sure that's when
that's what
was like, that's what ignited him to, yeah.
It's crazy, especially after we know that you was over there eating Ariane ass because she told Mel. So, you want to be mad about putting your mouth on people. You should have kept your mouth, to yourself.
It's disgusting. My skin just crawled.
Y'all, that shit is crazy to me when she was talking about that. And I can tell, like, just by listening to the tone of her voice, that she's tired. Like, I literally went to my Discord after I watched it, like, sis is tired. Because you could just hear it. And
yes,
I'm tired for her.
If you know or ever been in a relationship with a narcissist, you know how that's what they want. They just want to tire you out. They come at you from every front, and it's exhausting. I'm so glad that he was stupid and lazy in some respect, because if he had been as meticulous as she is, this would not look this way.
My thing is this, though. How dare you? Like, this is the mother of your kids. And all because you can't get your way, and you're not getting your way is because you fucked it up. You decide that you want to leak some stuff out on this lady. Like, that's just, I can't. I just can't. Not you wanting to put her out there, not thinking about how it's going to damage your kids in any type of capacity, but then also want to turn around and take the lady to court to get custody of the kids too. Are you okay?
Like, in my mind, I was thinking, is this not enough for her to get full custody? Is this not enough? But
I'm surprised they still in court. I thought it would have
said
been
it's
wrapped
over
up.
now.
Oh, it's over. So she's good with the kids. Okay. That must be what it is.
She said nothing changed.
Nothing changed. Just a waste of time and a waste of money. And he only sent them all these steps back because y'all not going forward. And
if I was her, I would move houses right now. You picking them kids up in Walmart parking lot.
Very sad. I hate that. I hate she had to go through that, or really still going through it, because I believe y'all said she cried on the live or something. She got pretty emotional. So it's just something she's still continuing to go through with him. Like, it's crazy. Anything else that y'all wanted to say about this matter?
No, I mean, Mel is covered. This just really made me emotional. Just like, this is disgusting, and it's real life scary.
And it's a tactic a lot of these weak NIGGAs do. Like, it's just they think they can, make you less than by putting stuff out like that. It's just like, you whack, bro. And I wish she would have did it, because she would have sued the dog out of him.
I want her to continue to speak on stuff like this. Like, she needs to, for her protection. And I would love to see her castmates say something.
Defend her, say even, right is right, wrong is wrong, for God's sakes. But can we talk about the fact that what was the point of bringing Carson around? Because I have to understand, like, she was brought to more than just one event.
What other event did she go to?
She was at the INS wine event last season. And then
I do remember her.
I don't.
I don't. But and then she's gonna be at the Expo.
Doing what?
Well, she's a hairstylist, so she might just be showcasing her business at the Black Expo.
But see, my thing is, I don't really care about the wine and all of that stuff. I don't care about her going to the wine event, the Expo. My thing is the tea for me, because Mel specifically said you could bring a +1. How did this person make it that close to the table? Because it's one thing for you to be an extra in the bag. and then for you to get that close to get a seat at the table.
And that's the thing.
Literally.
The girl said in her video that Marceau is the one that, like, you know, kind of hooked her up to do Tisha's hair. So that's why I said I felt like he possibly wanted to fuck her, and so he wanted to bring her close because they know that it's easier for them to fuck with people once they bring them into the circle, or once they bring them into their, you know, their friend circle or whatever. It's easier because, you know, she comes somewhere with her husband, or you see her around, it makes sense, versus that if it's some strange girl that's just hanging around. So when he sought her out the way he did, that was suspect as fuck to me. All for her to be doing Tisha's hair, as if the last person that we heard was doing Tisha's hair, we didn't hear that he was fucking with that person as well. So I'm like, do you have a thing for making people do Tisha's hair and fucking them? Like, I don't know what's going on there. But it definitely, and then she said that he let her borrow his car. To me, it sounds like a man that is trying to form a romantic, like, sneaky link relationship with a woman.
Girl, these people here, girl, not letting lady borrow the car too.
Yeah. She said it in her video. That's why I was like, girl, it sounded like he was trying to fuck you. Like, that's what it sounded like to me. And you actively, like, working with Tisha, and then you was doing Wanda's hair, put her wig on at the reunion or whatever. Like,
Their hair was looking a lot better though.
It was.
I could tell when she started doing their hair.
No, she's good. She does good hair. But you know, and we do believe, like, you probably got the attention for your work. But when we find out this backstory about Ariane, and they keep bringing you around, and Jami, to your point, the tea was the moment for the shit to be dropped. But essentially, how many times were you gonna bring her around just so y'all can get used to her being around before that tea was dropped? It just seemed very strategic to me on all ways. Even if Tisha didn't know, I feel like Marceau knew.
Well, then I also feel like it makes it difficult for me to not question production then.
Absolutely.
No, are we surprised?
I mean, don't we think Carlos knew about everything beforehand and probably told Marceau, you should invite them to this? Like, I mean, just the way we feel like Carlos is responsible for Sheree and Martell. Like, you can act like it's somebody else, but it's giving you the link. Yeah.
Oh, fair. Yeah, for sure.
Girl, that is.
And Sheree looking stupid as fuck.
Speaking of which,
oh god.
Let's get into Sheree. Let's go ahead and switch.
She said to Tyrone, "You got me out here looking stupid as fuck, dumb as fuck." Yeah, you are. Somebody
and still
replay the clip.
To this day.
That's your man.
Girl, I can't.
And she gonna stick beside him
like a dummy, as he's sitting in her face on the next episode, talking about he ain't got feelings for a male. First of all, if a man sitting up there talking to you for girl any amount of minutes about his ex, he's still stuck on that. I don't care nothing. I don't care nothing about it. Thank you so much for the super chat, Gwen Starks. Thank you, ladies, for your efforts each Thursday to give us great content and thought-provoking dialogue. We appreciate you all. Side note, Carson was on Queen Sheba's live tonight, so she may have given more answers there. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Y'all ready to get into?
Yes, please.
Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Because I have so many opinions, girl.
I see you got your clown mask on like you always do.
Come on.
All right. So, Sonya's party. Kandi versus Courtney, Sheree, and Martell, and Kenya. I would have loved to see Kandi had headbutted Courtney. Courtney was doing a little too much. But do y'all feel like Kenya was aggressive with Martell, as a lot of the people like to say? I feel like she met him where he was at.
I do too.
So
I feel like all of that walking back and forth, I think he was trying to control how angry he was off rip. And I had to ask Kandi about it because everybody was acting like Kenya was overreacting. And I was like, I don't think she was overreacting. The way he was putting the phone in her face, even that comment about if I was trying to fuck you 2 years ago. Yeah. But Kandi, I said, Kandi, did they leave something out? She was like, you know, they always cut stuff out. But I was like, but was Martell like chilling? Did we miss something? She was like, no, he was absolutely on one from jump. Which tells me it was a setup. And I'm mad that everybody acting like they don't don't know this is a setup. Sheree and Martell had a conversation about who they were gonna have beef with, what the night was supposed to look like, and he got on defensive when he found out that they were trying to out him for dating other women in Atlanta, which he did not really deny. He just said that Sheree gets most of his time, so the other girl is getting a short end of the stick.
Exactly. And it's the fact that nobody was willing to catch what the hell he said.
Well, Mayetta said to him, so the other girl is no more. And he said never was. But the way Mayetta said it, Mayetta know personally who the hell he's with.
I believe that. I definitely believe that. I also didn't like that Sheree kept trying to say that Martell was being ambushed when you actually included him in on the conversation. In my personal, you wanted him to be
she did that.
Mess. Like, it could have really just been a conversation with your homegirls. It could have like not going further than that. It is what it is. But my thing is also, you gave a lot of energy to Kenya, but you didn't really give a lot of energy to Mayetta, who really got the conversation started with him being out in the streets with, because I think that's bigger than the DM.
Right.
Yeah.
But you didn't give that energy to Mayetta, so it's definitely giving, you knew exactly who you were going to come into the scene beefing with.
Don't waste your time with Mayetta. Go for Candy and Kenya because they the big dogs. That's definitely
Kenya,
what it was
because
giving.
She don't have a man.
That too.
I really struggled reviewing Real Housewives of Atlanta after reviewing Love Marriage Huntsville because it just sucked. Like, to not see Martell come out as outwardly abusive on this show, even though we know that he is and that he does show aggression towards women. Because it reminded me of last season whenever Kenya was saying something about Ross, how she was saying that she was afraid of him or something like that.
He was aggressive when he jumped up and said, "Don't y'all be fucking with my wife," when they were all sitting at the table having some verbal back and forth.
Yes. I don't think Ross should have got into it, but I also think you got to be careful of those aggressive words. And I feel like both of them were manipulating the situation. I think that Kenya was fearful because she didn't have a man. So having a man say something to her put her in fear. So that's why she threw out the word, "I'm scared of you," prematurely. The other thing is Sheree tried to play like this man don't have a history of abuse and aggression on other shows, and then tried to manipulate the fact that people felt a way about Kenya calling Ross aggressive. So all in all, it was just so conflicting across the board. Yeah, it was all across the board. And then she tried to say, "Oh, well, you can't speak to him like that." And Martell talking about, "I'm a king if she a queen." Like, she's giving abuse victim just like Kenya had said. But I really don't want to see Martell on this show, and I don't want to have to comment on him and try to view him in a different light than what we already know him to be.
I think that Kenya is right on all fronts. I think that ever since Kenya was in that relationship with the beady-eyed guy, whatever his name was, who broke her windows and stuff in her garage, ever since she was in damn, I forgot, but he got into it with Peter and everything.
Was it Matt?
Yeah.
Was it Matt?
It was Matt.
Yes.
So I feel like ever since that relationship, Kenya has started to understand what it is when she is in an abusive relationship or when she meets an abusive man. And I think Matt was like the physically angry type of abusive, but Mark was like that sinister, passive aggressive, I'm gonna try to fuck over your whole life narcissist type of abusive. And I think now that she's going through therapy and all of that, she's recognizing these things when she sees them. And when she points it out, everybody acts like she's putting 20 on 10. But the truth of the matter is, if you look at any of them old clips, every week somebody is sending me an old clip from Sanya, full court glam, whatever the hell short show it was that they had on WeTV. And baby, Ross is problematic. He just knows how to stay quiet and let y'all just look at him. Oh girl, there's a clip somebody sent me this week where she got dressed up in lingerie for him, and he says, "Before you do all of that, I just want to have a conversation with you because you didn't send my mom and my grandmother gifts for Valentine's Day like you always do, and you putting too much on your plate to where you starting to neglect me, and I got a problem with that, and as your husband I need to let you know when you starting to neglect me." And she burst into tears and apologizes to him. And he was like, "Yeah, because you just got to get that on. You putting too much on your plate." And to me, it sounds like You want her to take on your responsibilities as her own. And whenever she decided to put what she needed to put first, and not your shit, now you need to check her about it and make it seem like she's not being a good enough wife to you. Now, mind
that
you,
baby thing is in line with his personality. The way he was saying,
she got on her knees in front of him and everything. Like, it was very, like when she
Sonya?
was Sonya, she got
that's
on.
why she let that bullshit slide when her brother-in-law was calling the sister out her name on the last show when they was boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yes. And I think it's because Ross just knows how to handle his shit better. But I think Ross and a brother-in-law are both probably misogynistic, or, you know, just they look at women as, you know, I love her or whatever, but I'm going to basically use her. I'm a user in some respect. I'm gonna get what I want to get out the situation, and then I'm a, you know, abuse.
You think
the
that
lady
about
in some
Ross?
way.
You
Oh
think-
yeah, I think
Really?
well, because when
I feel like Ross is the one being abused. Goddamn, all them folks in his house.
he wants them out the house, but I think the reason why Sonya doesn't want them out the house is because they're a buffer between them. Also, he's always gone. He's always gone, yet he's telling her that he wants another child. So I'm like, so what's going to happen there? And I also feel like a part of the abuse is her being responsible for the brother-in-law, who is also his best friend. Like,
that gives so lazy to me. And I know every time I speak on that, people be like, it's a part of Jamaican culture. Like, yes, but these two men are not Jamaican. They are two best friends who decided to conveniently marry sisters and live together. That gives lazy to me.
I just hope that Ross is one of the good guys, because I would hate to see him keep talking about how much he wants the baby, only for us to find out that he got one in Texas. Because she won't have it for him.
Because you know, a lot of people question why the fuck you always going back to Texas. People wanted to argue with me about how much money he made as an NFL player. But I'm like, he working that job. Like, if he ain't there, it ain't going to make no money.
He is working it like that. Like he don't want to hire other people to do it for him. Franchise it.
Thank you, Abu, for the super chat. Kenya's response to that aggressive energy is probably from pillow talk. She's a housewife who a man on screen got physical with, and the only man in the room to defend her was her gay best friend. Thank you so much, Abu, for the super chat.
Oh, the pillow talk episode.
Yeah, back in the day.
That pillow.
You trying to say that's like a trauma response?
Okay.
No, I think that she was right. I don't think it was a trauma response, because I think that she kept her cool. She was picking up on his energy off rip. If anybody was really looking at Martell was pissed off. He was trying to act like he wasn't as pissed off as he was, which is why he kept walking away. He would say something, throw it out there, and then walk away. And there was a woman that was back there holding his arm and talking to him as he's going back and forth with Kenya.
Yeah.
And y'all know what that mean. That mean that he's on one, and everybody knows he's on one. So let's try to calm it down before he embarrasses himself on this show, and he won't be able to come back to this show.
He was definitely trying to control his actions when he first walked up, because y'all know Martell don't know how to control himself. But he was trying in that moment. That's why King was like, "Oh, you came over here aggressive." Like, he was trying to hide it, but
that's your fault. That's your fault. That's you.
Right. Exactly.
All of that.
The thing is, I think it's an issue having him on these two shows, because Sheree is judging Kenya's abusive comment based on what we saw at the birthday party. I'm gonna be 100%. Martell saying she probably answered all her DMs, and Martell also saying, "I don't give a fuck. I tried to fuck you 2 years ago." Those two comments to me are not abusive. But like Kenya said, she watched him on Love and Marriage Huntsville. She's judging him through a lens that we're not speaking on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Exactly.
So it makes it really, really difficult for the viewers to really get an understanding of exactly what Kenya's talking about. He shouldn't be on these two shows.
Some of them don't watch. Right. Some of them don't watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, so they don't know how bad he is.
And that's what Kenya's speaking on. Like, she knows abuse, like you said, from her previous relationships, but she can clock it because she knows this man.
I mean, that's why I wasn't mad at her, because she said, she kept it a buck on Candy's interview. She said, I've been watching Love and Marriage Huntsville since the first episode. She was like, I watched the show, I'm a fan of the show, and I never liked the way he treated his wife. And to add insult to injury, you was trying to slide up in my DMs to spark conversation. I ignored you, and now you showing up with the thirsty one, Sheree? who's
I was
dumb.
so fucking confused about the screenshot though. This is the thing. How is it that Kenya hadn't even accepted the message yet? We saw her accept it. So we know Kenya didn't manipulate any messages. But Martell still had a message to show on his end. Some people were saying he screenshotted it.
I think it was.
That's what I was wondering. And I also wonder if he sent her more than one message. I feel like he could have sent her an initial message because she was saying 6 months ago. And I feel like if it was in 2020, she would have said that. So it makes me wonder if he did send her something like 6 months ago. And when she accepted it, that's the message that ended up being deleted because he ended up hooking up with Sheree. But prior to hooking up with Sheree, he was trying to hook up with somebody else that I believe was affiliated with Candy.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was definitely trying to get into where he could fit in. And I feel like his whole movement, and I said this before, was trying to get back at Mel in a sense. Like,
yes,
he was trying to look like he leveled up.
Yes, getting on Real Housewives of Atlanta is a flex because we all know. I mean, Carlos even cares more about Bravo shows than his own shows. So obviously Martell was going to pick up on that the Bravo shows are bigger than our shows. So if I get on that show, then Mel really going to feel away. And honestly, I feel like Martell isn't smart enough to think of any of this on his own. So I personally think that Carlos is helping him do all of this, and that's even more problematic to me.
I would not be surprised. And I'm laughing because that shit is pitiful.
It is. Like, why are you doing that? That man is not gonna. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna chill.
Flag on the play.
I mean, you know that's what we be thinking, but I'm gonna leave it alone because it gives. I'm in love with him, and that's why I want to help him so badly. That's what it gives. Because I need to understand why you ain't helping nobody else on these shows like that, child. Okay, Maurice need help.
Okay. Candy catches Sonya in a lie. Sonya sat up there and made it seem like she was actually defending her. I ain't like how Sonya lied, but I love that Candy called her and like, what did you say to defend me? And she lied. So I wonder, well, it seems like Candy is finally starting to realize that Sonya is more loyal to Sheree and Marlo than she is to her. So that was something.
Sonya ain't loyal to nobody.
I'm about to tell you.
You don't think so?
Girl,
no.
The way them people got her walking on eggshells in her own house, you can't trust her.
Sonya is not loyal to nobody.
By the seat of her pants. Whoever's in front of her in the moment, that's who she's gonna give, whatever they need to. But I also Jami made a good point. Not you, because in my review I was like, not my Jami, Candy's Jami.
Candy Jami.
Yeah. Okay. But Jami said in a review, she was like, she felt like Sonya decided to stay on Marlo and Sheree's side of things because she can look cooler with them. And I was like, that is so true because both of them are flunkies. So, because essentially that's what they were. Like, to me, Sheree, you were Nene and Kim Zolciak's flunky. Yeah.
Most housewife.
Yes, you were the number 2 to whoever the it girl is. Marlo, it was the same thing with you doing that with Nene. That's why y'all was and all of that shit. Cause y'all fighting for who's gonna be back up to Nene on the show and shit back in the day. And now y'all have decided to join forces. And Sonya can look like the cool head. She can seem like the younger, cooler chick in their group. But amongst Candy and Kenya, she just kind of seems like a hanger-on opportunist.
She's Katie Herring. She's Katie Herring.
She's absolutely Katie Herring. She's coming to replace you, bitch. Like,
she's
just
Katie
be careful. She's coming to replace.
And Sheree is what's that girl? Gretchen Wiener.
Oh yes, trying to make fetch happen, delusionally so. Just as delusional as she wants to be. Bitch,
she
are you awake?
The other one who be touching her boobs for the weather because she.
Oh yeah,
that's probably the one she giving.
Yeah, because she really. Deer in headlights whenever it comes to when Kenya tried to draw the correlation between her bad taste in men and how you just ignore these signs.
Yes.
But you can't be mad because he defended himself. What was there to defend himself about though, Sheree? That's the thing that nobody's paying attention to. If he said he DM'd her, he admitted to it, but then turned around and said that she was lying. All you had to do, Martell, was be like, yeah, I DM'd you.
But didn't she say that they tell each other everything? So when
she knew.
Have known
she
about
said she knew.
She didn't know.
She didn't know.
That was trying to save face. So I'm just laughing about it because I already knew. No, you didn't know shit.
You didn't, because if you
That's
didn't know, you
lying.
would have said that and broke everybody's face at the event. But you know you didn't know that shit. And honestly, I'm like, Sheree playing herself because he don't like you like that. You
He
too
really
old for
don't.
him.
He's just
He
not that
really
into you.
don't.
He's
He
not.
really
He's
don't.
using you, and he can't even fake well enough. You know what I'm saying? And you, I feel like she low key is getting swept up, and it's like, girl, like, because you would think that she wouldn't because she's so manipulative herself and a user herself, but it seemed like she might actually get wrapped up in him. Because why are you defending him this hard?
That's
you
fair.
you still need to be on the show after your relationship with him falls apart, right? So why are you trying to be for
him
Kenya?
like that's her
Right.
man?
Yes.
It's not your man.
That's
Y'all
not.
both have said that.
That's not. So I don't even know why they talking about cheating in the confessionals. I don't know why she getting so upset. Like, girl, this is a business transaction, and it is what it is.
And
we
then
need
she
you
chasing
to
him
let it
out
go.
the party.
And y'all were performing.
That's horrible.
Y'all were at the party. Two cause ruckus. Sheree, you can front and act like when Mayetta and Kenya came over you to the tea, you wasn't happy, but you was. Because it was about you. The scene, the party had been made about you and Martell, and that's what you wanted to do.
I agree with that.
Fooling nobody.
She wanted to be about Sheree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, ma'am. He don't want you. Candy and Ty, what y'all think about that whole dynamics about her not wanting to talk about the Melvin situation?
I wasn't bothered by it. I wasn't bothered by that. I actually forgot about it when I took notes, just because we've never seen Melvin on Real Housewives of Atlanta, right?
No.
No.
They kept that separate. I feel like they talk about the restaurant, but I don't even think we've been in OLG on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I feel like they would just use it against her to talk about how
Was that
ratchet her
scene supposed
businesses
to be
were.
for OLG?
No,
Was the
it was
scene
supposed to
supposed-
be.
Oh, it was for Blaze.
It was
I'm
at
wondering if-
Blaze. Yeah.
It was
Either
at,
one of her
okay.
restaurants.
But Philip was
No,
there.
I was saying, was this whole scene supposed to actually be used for Candy in the game?
Oh,
The
no.
show.
Oh,
I don't think so, because I think they had gotten canceled by the time they
Before
started
that.
taping Real Housewives of
Okay.
Atlanta this past season.
Right.
But honestly, I feel like, now that y'all say that, that's probably why Candy didn't really want to talk about it. To me, it was two things. First of all, I feel like the way Melvin looked, I feel like Melvin don't want to talk about that shit. And when they asked her in front of him, it was almost like, I'm not going to force him to talk about being shot, because I don't know if he okay really. So I don't appreciate y'all trying to force me to force my cousin to talk about him being shot if he ain't ready to talk about it. So that was one thing that I felt might have been happening, because he kept saying he was all right, but it felt like something somebody says when they just want you to leave them alone about something and they don't really want to continue the conversation.
Well,
Because Candy told them she's not interested and she not gonna talk about it, that's why they finna be on her head. Production is, at least, because they finna make sure it seems like damn near every other episode somebody finna bring it up. Because Drew gonna
They
bring it
was
up to her.
trying to
It's
piece
like
the
y'all
story
gonna try
together.
to force her to try and
But
talk
to
about
me,
it.
I feel
It's
like
only
she
gonna
probably
frustrate
being
her.
strategic. Like, if you want them to reconsider bringing back the OLG and all that, to bring back that show, then I'm not using anything that happened at OLG for real like that in a storyline on Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I had a show and y'all took the show. So
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna give y'all minimal information when it comes to that. Now, if y'all really want the information, y'all will put the show, the
blame her on
OLG show
that.
back on. Me either.
Because she ain't doing the escape stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about
Right.
it. We're doing the
I
escape
know.
stuff on this show. Y'all don't ask
That
me about
is
that.
true.
So
That is
we got a
true.
whole
And
show
I
for
felt
that,
like
so.
production was trying to piece a storyline together that the lady was gonna say her businesses was ratchet, or Candy bring the hood out, because as soon as they showed Candy unwilling to talk about Melvin, they pieced in the clips of all the ladies talking about Candy. So to me, I was like, oh,
She knew they was gonna use it.
this was a part of y'all production notes. Y'all had been trying to piece the story together, and if I was her, I wouldn't entertain it either.
It
She
definitely
not.
felt like they were using that so Sheree could have that line about, we don't know whether we're getting bullets or biscuits at Candy's restaurants.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, as Todd said, they make a lot of money off of the restaurants that fund all of their, plays and movies and all of that stuff that they do that's in entertainment. The restaurants fund that stuff. So I think that they don't want any more bad press. I mean, y'all remember they weren't passing inspections for a minute and all of that. So I think all of this would have been considered bad press for the restaurants. And as a business person, no, I'm not trying to give everybody the logistics so that they can use it to, use it against me. So yeah, that's and Marlo, girl, I can't wait till Marlo gonna work on my nerves, because Marlo acted like last season she was impervious to us whipping her ass online, and now this season she's showing up as the kid who's trying to act like they got some sense because they got their ass beat. Like, but we know it's fake.
Annoying.
Grade A hater.
So
did y'all
anything else happen?
Did y'all see the interview that she did with Jason Lee?
Not yet. I'm watching it tomorrow.
Marlo or
okay, Marlo.
Oh.
Girl,
With
Candy ain't gonna never
Jason
do no interview with Jason Lee. But they sat there
That's
and
why he
talked bad
brought
about
Marlo on
Candy.
there.
So they could talk bad about Candy together. And the clip that I did see was him saying that Tamar told him that Candy wears fake labels. And I was like, but she richer than everybody. So does it matter? Now, Tamar said she ain't say that. Tamar came out and said, bitch, I did not say that. And I don't want nothing but peace.
I know that's real.
No, I don't think so.
I'm
Because
glad
if she
came out and
had,
debunked it.
me too. Because I think if she had said it, she either would have been quiet or she would have been like, yeah, I said it. Y'all know I don't like that bitch. Because y'all just finished arguing online not too long ago. So
she has no reason to sit up there and be like, oh, I didn't say that. Like, yeah.
Right.
If she really did. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, unless she realized that it wasn't in her best interest after everything that happened, because people did go in on Tamar for what happened, because she kept that shit going a little bit longer than she should have, saying that Todd came up to her and was getting rowdy with her and all of that shit.
What I will say is this. I could see Tamar not saying it, but I also can see the question being asked, and she does. And you can do what you want to do with that. And when they do what they want to do, he decided to take it and say, "Oh, well,
And
Tamar
she can just say,
and she's like, "I did not.
I didn't say that.
I didn't say that."
But I was like,
correct.
You're right, Jamie. You're right.
That's what it was. Was there anything else on Real Housewives that y'all wanted to discuss?
The beginning of the end for Ralph and Drew. That's all we seen. It's funny because production's like, how's the status? This is the best our relationship has ever been. Now we know they headed to divorce court. So
to me, the fact that your daddy got Alzheimer's and you going to travel to be with your family, and this nigga went to the party instead.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Oh, he don't give no, and he's still trying to make money off your fucking back. What kind of engineer is he? You writing and producing songs and writing fucking books about being a stepdaddy?
Girl, giving. Find your lane. Find your lane.
Stop putting him on your business projects. Let him make his money his own way.
Yeah, she gonna regret all of that shit, because he gonna fight her for everything. He gonna fight her everything that she thought she was building in that relationship. That nigga is going to fight her tooth and nail for everything. She gonna have to animate. I want everything. He can have everything but my name, Your Honor. She gonna
for real, because he already took money out her account, didn't it? It wasn't.
He wanted her out the house. He wanted her and the kids out the house.
But Croy want the same thing. Croy over there talking about getting this bitch out the house.
No, but he want the kids though. Croy want the kids and want Kim out the house. Right. At least he asked for custody. He was like, she can't take care of my kids. I was the one taking care of them anyway. I'm low key on Croy's side over there. When she tried to talk about how he was smoking weed, I said, bitch, that nigga been high since we seen him. How you gonna use that against him now?
Like you probably wasn't smoking weed with him.
Or doing other stuff. Because you know what it looks like.
Hit my cigar.
Who knows?
Shit.
Who knows?
Anything else? Okay.
I implore y'all though to go and watch them old clips from Sonya's show though, because it was before people knew how problematic they sounded. And
Oh yeah, was it like 2011?
yeah, it's like, yeah, 2012 around that time. And that's why I'm like, y'all, they didn't know how crazy they sounded. So now when you go back and watch, you recognize now why everybody's so quiet over there. Because when we watch this shit back, we realize we shouldn't have said that.
Facts.
A mess.
Facts. All right, y'all. So that's a wrap on Housewives. Now, we do have one more thing that I want to get into real quick. And this is our last thing before we get up out of here. This is a video, and it's really more so like a am I the a-hole? And he needs a bit of advice about how he should handle this situation. So let's see what he has to say.
For refusing to pay for my stepdaughter's wedding because her real daddy is the one that's going to walk her down the aisle. So let me tell you guys about my stepdaughter, all right? She wants her real daddy to walk her down the aisle. Now let me give you a little backstory on me and my stepdaughter. She just graduated from university, which I paid for. Now, she went to an in-state university, but it still cost me about $40,000. Now, I also bought her a car. I bought her a car straight after high school. That way she could go back and forth to school. I bought her a car. She still lives with me and her mother. She does not have a job. Now, she's set to be married on August the 8th. And for the past 6 months, that's all her mother been talking about doing. Being occupied with, being consumed most of their time. Now, her daddy, he don't contribute to not 1 cent on her. Not her education, not child support, which is partly her mother's fault because, you know, she didn't fight for that. I guess that's just what the settlement was. And he only around to make promises. I do that for you. I do this for you, and then take off. And then she'd be heartbroken. But she adores her father, right? So, like I said, she's set to be married in August. And the wedding venue, I told them they could have it in my home. The wedding venue can hold about 250 people, right? Now, I said, hey, I got a list of 20 people that I want to come to the wedding. I'm paying for this at my house. I want these 20 people to come. Do y'all know Saturday, I see one of my friends at the golf course, right? He's supposed to come to the wedding. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna see you at the wedding, right? He said, I only got an announcement. I didn't get an invite. I'm like, nah. I'll let my girlfriend and stepdaughter know to send out the invitations on these few people. And you're supposed to get an invite. He said, I got something, but it was an announcement. So we walked to his car because I want to check, right? And sure enough, it was an announcement. So I went and talked to my girlfriend and said, did you invite those 20 people to the wedding that I told you about? Man, she didn't invite none of them. She said 250 people is a little tight, and I don't think we can get your 20 people in there. Man, I was pissed. And the people that were supposed to come, they pissed as well. Then she gonna say if any of the people that we already invited don't RSVP, then we'll get some of your people in here. I'm like, what? Man, that's crazy, man. Don't even worry about it, man. I'll just be mad. All right? So now, the crazy part about it is, when I check the invitations, they don't even have my name on them. They have her real daddy and her on the invitation that I paid for. I paid for these invitations. How you got a real daddy on there, her mama on there? Cool. Couple days later, I'm hosting the venue at my house, hosting the wedding family at my house, okay? It's me, stepdaughter, girlfriend, groom, and their parents, right? Trying to help everybody get real acquainted. Then a surprise guest shows up, my stepdaughter's real daddy. And I'm like, you know what? Cool. He probably just coming to the wedding, right? But tell me why my stepdaughter proceeds to stand up and announce that her real daddy is giving her away at the wedding. What? The wedding that I'm paying for in my house? The daddy don't do nothing for you? Is giving you away? Oh, and they were just so happy and smiling. Oh, yay, great. Inside, I was fuming. Inside, I wanted to cry or punch somebody. Probably want to do both, honestly. So,
Sound like a monologue.
I took that time to stand up and give a toast as well.
It do.
I said, you know, I owe the groom and the bride a deep debt of gratitude because they have opened my eyes tonight. Oh, everybody at the table was just smiling. They have let me know that my position in this family is not what I thought it was. Oh, you should have saw the frowns, man. Now they mad. It done got serious. I let them know I am not the godfather or, the head of the family that I thought I was, the loved one that would be seeked out in times of need. Nah. I realized I'm an ATM. Yeah.
Yeah, nigga, duh.
So
head of the family.
Since I have been replaced as host of the wedding, I shall be giving my financial duties to the new host, and I will back out monetarily. Yeah. Yep. Now, after the announcement, a whole lot of snickering was going on around the table, right? A lot of mumbling, but they didn't say anything to me. Nobody addressed me now. Now, later that night, tell me why my girlfriend gonna come to me talking about how I'm ruining so much, how I'm ruining so much for backing out, and how her daughter ain't gonna have her dream wedding, and how her daughter ain't this and that. Okay, well, it's apparent that I'm not family in this family. So the family should take care of it, right? That's my stepdaughter. I mean, it ain't even my stepdaughter, really. It's my girlfriend. I just happen to be around her for the last 10 years. But tell me why the next day, my girlfriend trying to show me how much I'm ruined, right? She takes me to where they planning the wedding, and the wedding planner showed me, all the things they got going down, everything they got set up. I look at the venue. They got some father-daughter dances, right? 3 songs. All of them cater to her real dad, not me. I look at the food they got. 2 of the dishes.
You still mad at this point?
I just started laughing. Like, they want me to pay for this. His name on it, not mine. His songs, not mine. The food, I can't eat the food. And the 20 people out of 250.
2 dishes.
They can't even come in my house. Wow.
This your fault, sir.
It's wild, man.
It's the eyebrow for me.
So I went on ahead and let her know I will not be there, and neither will my money. Yeah. And they would no longer be at my house either. And you would no longer be at my house or your daughter. Because, yeah, I'm not family. I'm not even important enough to be put up on the brochure. It's crazy, man. Yeah.
Please let me go. Please let me go. Please let me go.
And this is the audition tape.
First of all, it's giving fake. Let's start there. But second of all, if we gonna act like it's real, if we gonna give it the monologue, we gonna give it the commentary, let me just say, sir, this is your fault. Like, you're not even married. You've been with this lady for 10 years. You're not married. You agreed to pay for all of these things, knowing that she has a deadbeat dad for a father. And then when you find out that she still wants her dad to be involved in shit, you're mad and now you don't want to pay for anything. But to me, I feel like you shouldn't have agreed to pay for the shit anyway. And another thing is, no, you're not the head of the family because you're not her husband. You're her boyfriend. And I would like to remind you, when you're having these conversations about all this family shit, this is for like husband and wife. And so when you start saying my girlfriend, we're like, sir, all of this and y'all are girlfriend and boyfriend? You're insane. So to me, I feel like, I don't know who the girlfriend is, but you chose wrong. Because something's wrong with you. Because there's no way you should have been. First of all, when he said that it was her fault for not getting more child support, I'm like, well, it's your fault for being taken advantage of by somebody who really was just using you for your money. And you still going to venues. You still go and see shit. So to me, I feel like you're in a toxic relationship and you probably have done things on your end for why. Yeah, exactly. That you're not being clear on. I would like to hear the other people's side in the situation, but ultimately I feel like he played himself. You stupid as fuck. Like, why would you do any of that? You're not married. You didn't adopt that girl. You didn't do any of the things that you was supposed to do to solidify your placement. And now you're mad because you're being asked to pay for shit and you deciding to pay for it and you don't have the placement. Hello?
Exactly. Like, why you ain't had that conversation ahead of time? Like, yo, if I pay this, then I'm trying to do da whatever.
Right.
Like,
it's coming off.
I agree that
entitled too.
I agree that he has probably done some stuff, because for me, y'all, we all made a face when he said girlfriend. That was number one. Number two was, the longer he kept talking, he turned around and he said, that's not even really my stepdaughter. That's my girlfriend's daughter. I just been around her for 10 years. You done spent 30 minutes of our fucking time using the word stepdaughter. And then on the 31st minute, you telling us that ain't even really your stepdaughter once you get mad enough. So how is it, like, is you a father figure? Is you not? Now all of a sudden she's not really your stepdaughter because you mad. It sounds trifling. So, no, he played himself.
I definitely agree. He totally played himself down to the ground. I don't know what else to say. I felt like he was talking so long, but I kind of got a little lost. I said, so was the wedding at your house or was it not? Did they
Right, he
move to?
said
Because it sounded like he said that
it
he
sounded
let him
like they
have the
moved.
wedding at the house.
Yeah, it sounded like they moved. Then all of a sudden they back in the house because he was saying the girlfriend was saying, "Let me show you how you ruined the wedding." He shows up, the wedding planner was showing them some things. Then all of a sudden you back at the house and you giving a speech. He done took us through a whole ass Tyler Perry movie.
He did.
The only difference is at the
And
end
we
of the
still
Tyler
in the
Perry
same
movie.
damn place.
And
No,
I'm
that
gonna
is
tell
the Tyler
you,
Perry movie
it
because the
is.
woman suffers at the end. She ain't got no place to
Absolutely.
stay.
And he gets to humble her and assert himself as the one that was going above and beyond and all this, and she just wasn't appreciating it. When really, I'm looking at the nigga sideways for a few reasons: the hat, the jacket, and the bag with mad money to spare. No, I'm sorry. The beard, the eyebrow. He's extremely manicured. All of those things were red flags to me, and I don't know why. But
He's
as he
trying to be
was,
an actor. He trying to get
he's
the
too
attention
pretty.
of yeah.
And if you are
Thank you,
this pretty,
Sierra.
then you're probably like an asshole type dude that feels like you're God's gift simply because you groom yourself.
Sierra says this is a real story, just not his. She says it was on Reddit. Thank you for the super chat.
Okay, that sounded about right. He was reading
Mm-hmm.
Reddit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm like, girl, he's giving a monologue. He did a good job, I guess. I mean, it was long and
I mean,
Nah, he's
he
trying to fuck the
started off
camera.
strong, but
He,
yeah,
girl,
and
oh,
then
girl,
every
he's
second he
trying to
paused,
with
he,
that beard.
yeah, I did that.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
man,
Yeah,
you should have seen the
yeah. And
room.
this really ain't even
Yeah,
my girlfriend. And I mean, this ain't
yeah.
really ain't even my stepchild. I just been around her for 10 years. Like, what the hell going on
so
then?
and
How
then
do
the
you
pauses,
have so much rights?
paragraphs.
Yes. And look around, look away. Okay, child. That boy was in Tasha Smith acting class, and he's just trying to let everybody know he working on his craft.
Yeah, and he delusional if he think he was gonna fit 250 people in that fucking living room. I don't care if your house is 4,000 square feet. The setup of your living room was not given you to
Was
fit
not.
250
200
people
people.
in it.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I was like,
At all.
what are you talking
Not
about?
that
I
one.
was like, what rich old fat white man story are you reading?
Yeah, he was reading somebody's story.
Exactly.
200 people, child, please. Yeah, nah. But
Nah.
it's definitely giving. You have got to learn how to choose better, sir. Oh my God. Sounds like you.
She chose right if he paid for all that shit.
She did
I
choose right.
know.
I'm trying to understand what type of woman she is if it's real. Because bitch, you girl, you
She
Sigourney
used that nigga for a
Weaver.
whole decade.
Okay, like bitch, it's giving heartbreakers. Okay, like it's giving the mama and the daughter know how to game a nigga out they ends. Is what it's giving.
Yikes. Well,
What the finance like? Listen, wondering.
anything else, guys? All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. We thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Bondy Blue, at Jami ThatsMe, at Necey Dixon. All right. We will see you guys not next week, but the week after over on Necey Dixon's channel. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like the video on your way out, and we'll catch you in the next one.